Let's see. So I took a day off from watching the crime docs. We watched some funny little, what do you call them, Jubilee videos. But you already know I got hot back on the crime docs. I'm addicted. All right. So this one, I'm watching this one because it literally just came out a day ago. It's a case of William Riley Gall. It says when teens trap their killer friend. So we're probably gonna watch this one and another one. I don't know what other one we're gonna watch yet. We'll figure something out.
When two young men suspect a member of their own circle may be their friend's killer, they collaborate with law enforcement and go undercover to capture
Undercover, that's what I'm talking about.
Why did he say that? Why did he say he just wanted to talk to me? What the What the Oh my god. Oh, what you got? Leave your hands out of the vehicle.
Beloved cheerleader Emma Walker was just a few months into her junior year at Central High School in Knoxville, Tennessee, when her life met a tragically abrupt end. Initially, it seemed it was some sort of terrible accident. There was no other way to explain it. However, investigators would soon untangle a twisted web of lies and uncover the horrific reality. Someone had wanted Emma dead. Growing up, Emma's ultimate dream was to become a neonatal ICU nurse someday.
What is it? Anybody know what that is? Neonatal?
Student was putting in the necessary effort to ensure she'd get there. She was making the most of high school, and her innate ability to excel in her endeavors was also exhibited in her role on the cheerleading squad.
I bet somebody killed her because of jealousy.
Her third year had just gotten underway, and she was loving it. Then, the morning of Monday, November 21st, arrived. Like she'd done so many times before, Jill went to her daughter's room to wake Emma for school around 6 o'clock. Right away, it was apparent that something was terribly wrong.
I just tried to wake up my daughter for school, and she has no pulse.
How old is she?
She's 16.
You said that she's non-responsive?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, her tongue's hanging out of her mouth.
Stay on the line. I'm transferring you to Rural Metro.
Word of the mysterious tragedy spread quickly. Among those hit particularly hard by the devastating news of Emma's death was her boyfriend of 2 years, Riley Gall. The two had first met in the fall of Emma's freshman year at Central High. She was the only freshman to secure a spot on the cheerleading squad. It was right around then that Emma caught the attention of junior and star wide receiver Riley Gall. It came as no surprise that the two were soon inseparable. A steady stream of posts with photos saturated their social media feeds, documenting the fun times they shared. There were collages such as the one that read, "Look how lucky I am,"
What went
posted
wrong?
by Emma in May of 2016. By the time that fall of 2016 rolled around, Emma and Riley were 2 years into their relationship. Emma, now a junior, remained a dedicated member of the cheerleading squad at Central High.
So he'd been...
Though Riley had graduated that previous spring, he stayed close to his hometown and was attending Maryville College, where he quickly made a name for himself as a wide receiver on the football team.
College wide receiver,
then,
okay.
Just a few months into the new school year, young Emma was gone. As routine procedure goes, the Knox County Sheriff's Office immediately began speaking with those closest to Emma. Riley was brought in that evening on the outside chance that he might be able to aid in the investigation. Based on a tweet from earlier that day, he was very distraught, and understandably so. "That's my beautiful Emma. Rest easy now, sweetheart," it read. And it just so happens, word has gotten back to law enforcement that Riley has some particularly eerie information to share. Apparently, Emma had been receiving threatening text messages from an unknown source during the course of the previous weekend. The detectives start with brief introductions, then get a technical matter out of the way. The following footage has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed attorney, a licensed clinical psychologist, a former licensed professional counselor, and a licensed professional counselor.
Before we get started, I understand you're not under arrest right now. You came down on your free and with your granddad and your mom. But because you're in a secure area, I have to read you your rights, okay? Because basically if you're in a position that you can't get up and leave and get out on your own, they technically look at that in court as being in custody. But understand you're not in custody. I've not put a handcuffs on you.
That's Dick accent right there.
It's just a formality.
After Riley has read his rights, they engage him in a bit of small talk and efforts to build rapport, establish a baseline, and make him feel comfortable.
While we're waiting on him, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know obviously you played football at Maryville College. I'm assuming you played football in high school?
Yes.
What position?
Wide receiver, cornerback, punt returner, kick returner, punter.
You must be pretty good.
What? And he's gonna give him 5 positions.
You kicked Hall's butt all over the place last year. So
He's gassing him
that's
up.
been your senior year, right? It's always painful to lose to you guys. But good luck. Hang in there and stay at it, work at it.
A few minutes later, the detectives dive into the true reason for the meeting.
Uh-oh.
They ask Riley to provide a timeline of his whereabouts over the previous weekend.
Let's start with Friday. What, do you have classes during the day?
Wednesday, Friday, I have an 8 a.m. and a 9 a.m. And Tuesday, Thursday, I have a 6 a.m. and an 11 a.m. And then the other class on Monday, Wednesday, Friday is a 1 p.m.
Wow. You stay pretty busy, don't you? Let's start with Friday. You get out of class at 1 p.m. Mm-hmm. What happens from there?
Riley explains that he headed to his grandparents' home that evening, then went to his friend Noah's home shortly after, where he spent the night. Then, according to Riley, his seemingly normal morning took a chilling turn, and it all started with a message from Emma.
And she was kind of acting frantic over the phone, and she said that someone was trying to get into her house. Somebody was dressed in all black. They had a face mask on.
Huh?
She said that she saw them. She said she thought they were just taking a walk in the neighborhood, and then when she passed them to pull into her driveway, they put on a pair of glasses, and they started, like, she said they kind of, like, sped up, so she went into the garage and shut the garage, and that's when I dropped all the stuff I was in at my stepdad's house and drove all the way to her neighborhood.
Did you say she texted you that information?
She texted me, like, she was asking if it was me at first, and I told her no, what's going on, and that's when she FaceTime called me. She was crying and freaking out, so I said, okay, give me a minute, I'll come down there and check it out.
Riley raced to Emma's home, and approximately 10 minutes later, he arrived.
I went to her backyard, made sure, nobody was back there, checked under
Where's the
porch
parents
and
at?
everything.
Work or something?
Looked up and down the street.
Yeah.
But by that time, the would-be intruder was gone. Still, a residential surveillance camera captured a few seconds of footage as the man walked down the street.
Oh, so it's telling
Riley
the truth.
returned to Noah's
Okay.
house somewhere around 8 p.m. and stayed the night once again.
Time do you leave and where do you go Sunday morning?
I don't know what time I woke up, but when I woke up, I went back to my grandparents and then went back over to Noah's house. And I got back to campus around 11:30, 11:45.
Naturally, the college freshman had left his homework until somewhere around midnight Monday morning.
I got back up to my dorm and I tried logging in onto my Maryville College email, but I realized I couldn't because I was logged in on my grandparents' my grandmother's laptop back in Knoxville, and it was late, almost 12:30, 12:15 or 12:30 around there. So I didn't think they were awake, so I drove back to Knoxville because I needed to do my homework, and I logged myself out of the laptop at my grandparents' house. My grandfather was awake though. He saw me log out of the laptop, and from there I left.
It's intriguing that Riley felt the need to emphasize how his grandfather saw him log out of the laptop.
That is a little
Almost as if
weird.
he's expecting that the detectives will think he's lying about
Yeah.
why he went home.
He saw me log out of the laptop.
When someone who's being questioned acts defensive before they have even been accused of something, it can be seen by law enforcement as a possible sign of deception.
I see it. I see it.
I ended up not doing any of my homework. Instead, I got back to campus around 1 a.m. and just sat in my car for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and just wept. 4:30, I fell asleep. Fell asleep around then, and that's when I woke up to people calling me about what had happened. Well, first he had texted me, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry about what happened." So I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he called me after that, and he said, "Did you not hear what happened?" I said, "No, what are you talking about?" And he said, "They found Emma dead in her bed this morning, or unresponsive is what he told me." And that's when I started freaking out, having a breakdown. So my parents, or my mom and my grandmother, were coming out to campus to get me. They probably got there around 9-ish, 9:30, somewhere around there.
As soon as he starts talking about being told about Emma's death, Riley starts stroking his face. This is a self-soothing behavior indicative of heightened
Bro, I feel like I do
anxiety.
that all the time.
This could be
Maybe
because
I
the
just have
topic is
anxiety.
distressing for him.
I do that all the
which
time.
would be understandable, or a hint that maybe something else about the topic makes him nervous.
Maybe I'm just a
Although
nervous
some
person, bro.
dismiss
I always be playing with my
nonverbal
face.
analysis as pseudoscience, and whether or not the viewer agrees with it, it is used by the FBI, CIA, and police during interrogations, which is why we include it. When the CIA is interrogating an individual, they look for clusters of 3 or more indicators that occur in either quick succession or all at once. These indicators can be signs of discomfort or uncertainty in what the individual is stating, rather than indicators of deception. It's extremely important to note that you cannot detect deception through nonverbal analysis alone.
Okay. So then once your grandparents got you and you went back to their house?
My mom and my grandmother did.
Yeah. Is that, they came and got you and that's where you went? Back to grandparents?
I spent all day at my grandparents' house today.
Until?
No.
Gotcha.
After a comprehensive run-through of Riley's
Bro, I want to know
previous
how this could
weekend,
possibly be
the
him. Like, what's,
detectives transition to the sensitive subject of his longtime girlfriend's unexpected death. Perhaps Riley can provide something for law enforcement to go on. A detail that may seem insignificant to him may be the very information needed to crack the case.
Tell me what you know about Emma's passing.
dude, how did they kill her in her sleep? What if they probably like suffocated her or something? I feel like they would have heard something, you
There's been
know?
all kinds of rumors and speculation. What have you heard?
Or did they not realize any break-in or anything? Maybe she got drugged or something?
I've tried to tune all of it out because I've heard so many different things. I've heard she just passed in her sleep. I heard she tried to commit.
Huh?
A stray bullet came to the wall, but that made no sense to me because it's her room. If a stray bullet hit the wall, it would have to be from the backyard because that's where her window is. I don't know. That one didn't make sense to me, but those are the main 3.
Who have you talked to? Where have you heard these rumors about passing in her sleep and all that stuff?
I've had a bunch of my friends visit me today at my grandparents' house, and they would just tell me different stuff that they've heard from different people.
Okay.
Riley has been fidgeting and spinning his seat throughout the interview
Dude, I do this stuff. I'd be screwed. I need to never get interrogated or something. I'd be screwed because I do this stuff all the time just naturally. Stan, how's it going, buddy? 12 minutes into this video. Basically, high school chick, cheerleader, got a lot going for her. Dies in her sleep. Like their mom find her unresponsive in the morning, no pulse, nothing. This is the boyfriend. He's a college wide receiver. He lives close. They've been dating for like 3 years. He's being interviewed. He basically just says he's been in his grandparents' house the whole time. That's his statement. They don't really know anything that happened, so.
But as soon as the detectives start asking about Emma's death and the rumors surrounding it, he also begins picking at his fingers.
Dude, I keep saying it, but like I do all this stuff, dude. I'm just a nervous person, I think.
Which is typically an anxiety response.
Okay.
Like I literally, if I'm sitting here being interviewed, I do this. I just like doing
Who
that. I think it's
told
cool.
you the stray bullet?
Yeah, it was actually about an hour ago when he showed up. His name's Jacob.
How do you know Jacob?
We've been friends since second grade.
Did he say where he
Second
heard
grade
the
friend.
stray bullet theory?
No, he said it was the same thing, like hearsay. He said he probably said that didn't sound right to him either, but
Stray
Horrifyingly
bullet.
so, it seems that the detectives are beginning to consider that the killer could be hiding in plain sight, disguised as a grieving friend.
Oh.
Perhaps they even paid Riley a
Okay.
visit in an attempt to avoid suspicion, simply playing the part
This
of
guy
another
honestly doesn't
young
seem guilty to
mourner
me so
expressing
far.
condolences to the longtime
But I think I'm just
boyfriend
wrong.
of the deceased. Detectives have collected potential leads in Riley's visitors from earlier that day, and with this, the entire trajectory of the investigation has drastically changed.
Can you think of anyone that would want to hurt Emma?
not off the top of my head, no. Because, I mean, she
She have any enemies?
no. She had no enemies that would want to hurt her. I mean, she had high school drama enemies, but, like, just girls she didn't like, but none that would do that.
She kind of got along with everybody. I mean, I don't know.
She was very likable. She didn't. I mean, she was friends with most.
Bro, I wonder how
everybody
somebody
she talked
broke
to.
in, killed her without anybody
The last time
knowing.
you talked to her, you said was Sunday
Sunday night.
night. Did she make any comments about anybody being mad at her or upset at her or anybody wanting to hurt her?
No, but the only thing that I thought of was whoever the person was at her house Saturday morning. That's the first thing I thought of. Was
Why wouldn't she like call the cops? Oh yeah, okay, so you missed this one part. So basically, like Saturday morning, I think the murder happened Monday. Could be wrong there. Saturday morning, there was a dude with a black mask outside of her place following her or something. There was camera footage of it. I guess maybe they didn't call the cops. I mean, I feel like I'd call the cops if that happened.
I heard that she had passed this morning.
Then, a completely unexpected revelation is brought to light, and it changes everything.
Oh god,
Do you got people that are mad at you, that are trying to hurt you or anything?
he's gonna pin it on Jacob.
I don't know.
Yeah, and nobody tried to kidnap you or
Kidnap me.
yeah.
Repeating the question can be a red flag to detectives.
Dude,
It could mean that the
I'm just a
person
walking
being
red flag, I
interviewed
guess, when
needs
it comes to
time
interviews.
think about their response. A deceptive individual likely wants to prevent awkward silences after a question, as that could seem suspicious.
suspicious.
However, if they need a moment to consider what they should say, they might repeat the question to fill that conversation gap.
Okay, you know what? That kind of makes sense.
I didn't want to. I'm sorry, I just didn't want to talk about it because it was traumatizing. I didn't know what to make of it.
What?
And
What's
that's
he
pretty
talking about?
important for us to probably know. I mean, somebody trying to kidnap you.
But I don't know, like, I don't know anything about it.
Notice the weak movement Riley makes here. It's a half-hearted shrug and his hands barely raise.
I feel like I'd tell the
Throughout,
cops
his
if I got if
illustrators
somebody
have
tried to
been
kidnap me.
minimal. We don't have anything of him before the interview to really compare to, but it's an atypical behavior for people in general to have such weak nonverbals.
I see.
Illustrators help people make points while they speak. In contrast, restrained gesturing is believed to be a telltale sign of deception.
When did this alleged kidnapping take place?
Friday.
This past Friday?
Dude, so a lot of stuff's happening with this dude in the span of like 2 days. Attempted kidnapping Friday. Saturday, his girlfriend's got this masked dude walking outside her house. And then, like, what?
When
Man's
did
got,
that happen?
man's got all kinds of stuff going on.
Sometime night. I just don't know. I don't remember much about it. I just remember two guys.
What?
Literally, I was Friday night before I got to Noah's. Went up to my stepdad's house, and I pulled in the driveway, and this van pulled over across in the semicircle, and these two guys were like walking across the street. I didn't think anything of it because they weren't like in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned around, I'm about to get in my car, and next thing I know, one of them grabs my back, and the other one's around the corner, and they just like put their hands over my face and just took me to their van or whatever.
Finally, we see Riley use larger nonverbal indicators. His palms are up, in a position usually indicating that he's asking to be believed or trying to be convincing. but they don't fit with his words.
Yeah, I never knew body
His hands
gestures and
just
stuff
sit
like
there
mean
for
this
quite
much.
a long time,
It's like a whole
with
language.
no words to go along with it.
And then what happened?
I don't remember much. They just had me.
Why would he not
I
remember?
couldn't see anything. They had something over my eyes. I
What?
haven't told my mom or anybody about this.
Oh, really?
No.
Why not?
Terrified.
So, I mean, you ain't got any money?
No.
You gambling, Dad? You gamble?
No.
So these
Does he
guys
gamble?
just randomly picked you up
Nah.
for no reason?
I guess.
Riley's account
that's
sounds a
weird.
bit questionable.
This just
especially
doesn't make
because
any
he
sense
doesn't
at
give
all.
a clear reason as to why he can't remember much of it. He's also left out any mention of his feelings during the event, and only mentions being terrified to justify why he hasn't told his mom about it. Most people who were telling the truth about something major, such as being kidnapped, will express what their emotions were
For
at
real.
the time.
Dude just
This is
casually
because
got
their
kidnapped.
emotions are tied to the memory of the traumatic event. When someone leaves these details out, it can be a red flag for possible deception. But the question is, what could he be leaving out? That same night, Emma had attended a gathering at a friend's home after the football game. It was somewhere around 11:30 p.m. when she began receiving alarming text messages from an unfamiliar phone number.
They did ask me. They were like, who would you want to talk to for the last time? And so I started freaking out, and I said, Emma.
Text messages instructed
What?
Emma to go outside. They stated that they
What?
had her loved one in their possession, and if she didn't comply with their demands, he'd be hurt.
And they made me call Emma. She wouldn't answer my phone multiple times, so they used their phone. And I was just crying and screaming. She thought it was a joke. She thought I was playing a prank on her.
Riley has been fidgeting with his hands and moving in his seat this entire time. This indicates that he's been letting off his excess energy, which is going to be a red flag to the officers.
Bro,
that
this
he
just don't
may
make
be
no
hiding
sense at all.
something. The fact that Emma thought Riley was playing a joke on her could suggest that he had done something in the past to make her doubt his sincerity. A friend accompanied Emma outside, and that was when they located Riley, lying face down in a nearby ditch.
What?
According to her friend, Riley appeared to be disoriented.
I woke up where Emma was.
Huh?
Where was that?
In
What?
Her friend's yard. It's right off Tassel Pike. I literally remember my head ached for the rest of the night when I got back to Nose after that.
Did you tell no one about it?
Yeah. They thought I was messing with them. That's
What?
why I haven't talked to anyone about it, because no one would take me seriously.
It's interesting that Riley still hasn't asked exactly what happened to Emma. Most people would ask at some
Dude, I'm so confused. I'm gonna be honest. This makes no sense. What's he talking about? What's he saying? I don't even get what's
point.
happening.
While maybe not early on, since
I'm
they
lost.
don't want to interrupt investigators. They wouldn't want to sit through the entire interview without asking for some kind of information about what happened. This is likely a red flag to detectives. After acquiring the information they need for the time being, the detectives conclude their interview with Riley.
I'm lost.
I do want to thank you for coming in and talking to us, Riley. I do appreciate that.
It's clear that investigators know Emma didn't take her own life, but instead believe something far more sinister occurred. Though the information hasn't yet been made public, they're aware that Emma died as a result of a single gunshot. The
Oh, he
bullet
actually
having traveled
died?
through the exterior of her
They
house
shot? Okay.
before striking
Wait, how does nobody hear that? In the middle of the night? Huh?
Emma in the head.
What?
Somewhere around this time, law enforcement is
Where's the blood? How does the mom and dad not see the blood and stuff? She got shot in the head. What?
approached by friends of Emma who strongly suspect they know the identity of the killer. They want to assist in the investigation. In fact, they believe they can get their hands on the very weapon that might have been used to murder Emma earlier that same morning, if the rumors that she died of a gunshot wound are accurate. You see, the person they suspect is also a close friend of theirs. In addition, one of the teens has recently witnessed something quite coincidental.
So wait, is it not
The
him?
suspect had recently acquired a firearm. In fact, he'd gone so far
Oh,
as
so it
to
wasn't
show
the
it to one
boyfriend.
of them, With the friends having come forward, the idea that the killer is among them has gained even more credibility, disturbing as it is. Despite the potential dangers of which they're warned, the amateur detectives opt to go through with the sting operation on November 22nd, just one day after Emma had died. A plan is constructed, and the friends are wired and equipped with a hidden camera.
I'll do that. Dude, I love you. There's nobody else I'd rather be going into this shit with. Nobody else I could go into this shit with. Oh shit, man. This is insane.
Just go do your thing, guys.
All right.
Hey, everyday life, man. Everyday life. Go do your thing.
Let's go play some Modern Warfare.
There you go.
Let's go play some Modern Warfare.
Another day, man. Yeah, look at that fog. Is that light still on?
I'm gonna shut it. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, you lost, guys. Do your thing.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
And with the short briefing from detectives, the precarious mission headed by a brave couple of teens is underway. The friends return to one of their homes and prepare for the suspect to arrive.
So, dude.
Saw, dude.
Okay. That's a bit. Me and we're back in the crib. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I'll walk out there. Alright, I'll see you. Why did he say that? Why did he say he just wanted to talk to me?
No.
Holy why does he really talk to him a lot?
I don't know, man. I don't know. All I can think about is that he would trust you more than me.
Which, I mean, yeah, because I've just been bullshitting him harder.
Mm-hmm. All right, FYI, guys, my roommate is not home. He's going to be at work till about like 1 or 2 a.m. tonight.
One of the friends updates law enforcement who's listening in. The suspect is due to
Dude,
arrive.
imagine how cool it'd be. Sorry, but like to be in high school or whatever, it'd be like on an undercover mission, bro. That'd be sick.
In just a few minutes. The hidden camera is strategically placed just before the suspect enters with his friend, and both take a seat on the couch.
Oh, they about to catch a
Apparently,
confession
the
right
two
here?
had a short conversation outside, and the suspect would like for his friends to accompany him on an errand of sorts. But before they get to that, they speculate on Emma's potential manner of death.
About to catch his
We
ass
know
right
that
here?
very little information has been made public, and they only have rumors to go on. Well, 2 of them at least. We suspect that the third knows everything.
Why are they even recording? I don't know. I guess to get the video footage, like, you know. I don't know. I feel like the audio would be enough, but maybe not.
Automatically ruled out any kind of suicide, or I mean, not ruled it out, but like, if she would have got shot through the wall, you don't just get shot and die instantly
That's what
unless
I'm
you get hit in the throat or in the head.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Unless she got shot directly in the heart, but still, even that, like, you're gonna feel that and wake up and be able to try and like crawl out of your bed.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
doesn't make sense. Like, I still don't understand how she died.
It's likely that no part of this discussion is medically accurate, but the undercover friends play along in an attempt to get more information from the suspect, and the speculation continues.
I don't either, but if like she got shot through the wall, then she would, like, say it hits her in the stomach. Say somebody shot her in the wall, hit her in the stomach.
There's no way somebody shot her through the wall.
You don't just get shot and lay there. Yeah, I don't see how she wouldn't scream or something, like anything. And she just laid, unless it was just like a ridiculous shot. If it hit her in the head, then they would have saw that. Well,
That's what I'm saying.
You don't know. You didn't see that, though. They could have walked in and seen her just. Well, they would have seen it. It was a murder investigation from early that morning.
As far as I know,
Like, they never thought, they always
don't know
knew it was
anything
homicide.
about how she was found or when she was found.
Because
whenever you hear, yeah, exactly. Whatever
They
you
always
hear
knew
from
it was a
whoever you
homicide.
hear it from could not be true.
They knew it was a homicide from the first second because they put in protective custody. You serious? Yeah.
The suspect is clearly alarmed by this information. The thought of a
this the
friend having
suspect?
been murdered would be quite devastating to hear. However, it's much more probable that the shock is from knowing that if her death was in fact a homicide, then law enforcement's main focus will be to locate the killer. Which brings us to our next
She's
important
breathing pretty hard,
topic of
bruh.
conversation.
But I'm trusting you guys, like, with my life. Because, I mean, this is 70 years in jail if I get convicted of something I did do. And are you busy right now? Are you about to do anything? Well, can we go to the bluffs? Because I need to get rid of the guy. At the bluff. I'm gonna throw it into the water. They'll never find it. I'll try to hit the water with like rocks and well, we did it with beer balls multiple times. Sure. We can go on the smaller ledge that really looks out of the water. I mean, I got your back, man. Jesus Christ, dude. I got your back. If it's in the Tennessee River, they will never find it. So that's why I just want to eliminate that from the equation as a whole. I say, cover your bases.
Dude, it's crazy that they have a camera set up and this guy doesn't even know. That's crazy.
Well, do you guys want to go right now? I'm fine. Let me grab a snack. You want a hot pocket? I'm starving. I'm so hungry. I would love a hot pocket.
After preparing a couple of Hot Pockets, the teens depart en route to an area that overlooks the Tennessee River, not far from the University of Tennessee
why,
campus.
If you're innocent, why the heck you ditching a gun? Why are you ditching a gun if you're innocent?
Bluffs.
You know?
It's possible that the suspect isn't just looking for moral support here. By involving his friends in the disposal of the gun, he's likely trying to protect himself. If he gets them to help, they'll be more likely to follow his plan of lying to the police about what they know of the gun, and he'll be able to hold their involvement over them. They won't want legal consequences for their part in getting rid of potential
Too bad they're
evidence,
already in on it.
so they'll feel more motivated to lie for the suspect.
He's turn left on the side of the street.
Kayla, how's it going?
Jump the fence.
How you doing today? We're in the middle of a little crime documentary.
Oh, snatch it.
If you need me to catch you up, I'll catch you up.
I'll go around to the church. All right, I'll be back. You're not back in 2 minutes. We're coming after you.
Huh?
Less than 4 nerve-wracking minutes later, the suspect returns.
Kayla, I'm doing great.
I just want to throw it and be done.
Had a nice today with work wasn't too bad. I was kind of busy a little bit, but like it's pretty easy. It's actually storming really bad. I had my dog at the park, and all of a sudden it just started pouring rain. I had to pick her up and just run.
Oh God,
But I'm doing pretty good. I've been kind of addicted to watching these crime documentaries. I ain't gonna lie, you know. I don't know what it is. They're just kind of interesting to watch.
I think there's gloves up here too, so I can put those on. Well, I'm saying like the glove. I think there's gloves. I think we can use them.
Yeah, I moved to YouTube. Yeah, I've been streaming on YouTube for like a couple weeks now, I think. Mostly I'm just sticking to reaction videos. So.
And I'll just put the gloves on and take it out.
There's no like games I really want to play right now, so I've just been reacting.
I'll carry.
That's what you doing.
I'll carry it up. Put the gloves on. We'll get to the top. We'll throw in the bullets individually. We'll throw in the clip. We'll throw in the gun.
Judging by the fact that the suspect keeps repeating how he wants to get rid of the gun, it seems that he's assuming that getting rid of the gun will mean that police will not have any evidence that points to him. They make one more detour and stop for some gas and fast food. The suspect, seated in the front passenger seat, hasn't allowed...
How did they put another camera up? They got another camera in the car? God, they're good.
...allowed Emma's death to affect his appetite. About 15 minutes later, they arrive at the Bluffs, and the horrifying moment of truth has almost arrived.
Nah. They better catch him on camera.
See this thing. I don't know if she touched it. But she got photos on our stuff. I mean, they don't have my fingerprints in any database. Hey, dude, bro, you got arrested. Yeah, but they didn't print me. What? Oh my God. What? This is a real gun.
The utter magnitude of the reality
That's
has
a real
to be
gun.
overwhelming as they lay their eyes on the very weapon that they believed was used to end Emma's life. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, the teens are rudely awakened to find that they're not alone.
Huh?
What the? What the? Oh my God, man. What the? What the?
Oh, the cops.
Everybody put your hands out of the vehicle now.
Oh, damn it, dude.
Yep. Hold what you got. Leave your hands out of the vehicle.
Haha. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I try my best to bring people over to Twitch. I just gotta start posting on TikTok now and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I've always wanted to build like a YouTube channel and stuff, and I just think it's a little easier to do just YouTube than do like Twitch and YouTube, and it's a lot easier because certain videos you can't react to on Twitch because it's like copyrighted just strictly to YouTube, so I can just react to whatever I want on this. But yeah, that's GG's for this guy.
Amid the chaos,
no hiding
in
this
just
now.
seconds, the suspect will be ordered to exit the vehicle, and all those present are aware that he's in the possession of the suspected
wait till they figure out that he was in on it. Oh.
If the suspect feels like he has
his
nothing
friends
left to
got him.
lose and senses that his friends betrayed him, he may choose to take revenge.
Front passenger, can you hear me?
Yes.
Right hand, open the door from the outside. Open the door all the way. Exit the vehicle, keep your hands up. Hands up.
Thankfully, he's apprehended without incident.
Rear passenger, do not move. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Do
He's about to
not
get
move
got.
your hands.
Get up. Out.
Max, what are you doing?
You got gloves? More gloves?
What are you doing, Jax?
Right there. Right there. Move the bag back toward the seat. Yep. Okay. Hey, Merritt. Yep. Just pull that bag enough and just to see the serial number. Just to see the serial number. How good do you want to look at this? You want me to start and see if left for a hold and see if we can take care of no on his, I'll call, goddamn right, boys.
And with that, the serial number was confirmed to belong to a gun that has, very recently, landed itself on law enforcement's radar. It had been kept under the driver's seat of the owner's
Wait,
vehicle.
what does this have to do with the boyfriend, you know? I thought this was his case.
Until on November 18th,
I'm so confused.
when he realized it was missing. And here's where it all begins to come crashing down. On November 20th, James Walker reported his Glock 9mm pistol stolen. Though James and Emma's family share a surname, they are of no relation. James, however, is related to someone else who's very close to the case. His grandson happens to be none other than the grieving boyfriend, Riley Gall. That's right. The suspect was
So he stole... Wait, that guy?
actually Riley all along. In addition to the firearm, other damning evidence was recovered, including the gloves we heard mention of and black clothing that would later confirm that Riley was likely the suspicious man dressed in black.
What?
As it turns out, there's much more to this convoluted story than initially meets the eye.
What? Who was the dude on the camera? I thought that was a completely different dude, right? Right?
Let's take a closer look into the events that transpired over those 2 years. What you're about
Or
to
was that Riley? Was that right? I'm so confused, guys. I'm gonna be honest.
see will paint a picture of a tumultuous roller coaster of a relationship, remarkably different than what you've seen so far. It all started when that freshman cheerleader caught the eye of that star wide receiver.
We dated on and off for about 2 years until about 2 weeks ago is when she really cut it off.
Oh, well, that's not suspicious at all. That's not suspicious at all. They just broke up 2 weeks ago, and now she's dead.
I cut it off in the past before. She cut it off before. Just kind of went back and forth. It would be months at a time, and then we'd have a small fallout, and then we'd get back together.
It wasn't far into the relationship before Emma's friends and family began to see concerning
It's gotta be pure
signs.
coincidence. 100%.
Emma's friends observed Riley exhibit behavior that they could only describe as controlling, possessive, and clingy. Riley wanted Emma to himself, and according to Emma's mom, Jill, Riley even attempted to control what Emma wore. This sort of jealousy and
Controlling
possessiveness is
boyfriend.
typical of abusive relationships.
Boyfriend.
The perpetrator essentially treats the victim like a possession rather than a human being. It is common for perpetrators of abusive relationships to have antisocial personality
what?
disorder. Individuals with this personality
This looks so
disorder
sad right
often
now.
have a need to dominate others and use others to fulfill their own emotional needs. Along with this, Riley quickly became obsessed with Emma and their relationship. Their relationship seems to have followed the 3 stages of obsession. The first is the absorbed stage. The initial attachment is extreme, and everything becomes serious very early on. The obsessive partner places the other
Stan, she didn't wear the right thing in any murder. Call it.
their partner in a specific
Bruh,
role,
that's actually
which
it,
is consistent with
I'm
Riley's
done.
attempt to dictate what Emma wore. Next comes the agitated stage. As the relationship progresses, the obsessive partner increasingly attempts to control the other. They text, call, or email numerous times a day. They're jealous of anyone or anything that takes time away from the relationship.
This could never
and
be me.
attempt to isolate their partner from friends and family. The third and final stage is the aggressive stage.
The aggressive stage.
which
This is where you
typically
pop them
starts
right in
when
the
either previously
right in the head when
successful
they're
attempts
sleeping.
at controlling the partner have failed, or the partner has ended the relationship.
How's Draxie doing? Let's see how Draxie's doing. Oh, let's see. Hold on, let me just real quick. Let's just come here. Yeah. Draxie's become very calm. Sometimes. She's really tired right now or something. I don't know. She's mad because we were only at the park for like 15 minutes and I had to run. I had to literally run home because it was raining. I think she's upset. She's like, man, you didn't let me run to the park for like an hour. She doesn't understand that it was just absolutely pouring rain. I don't know why she's acting so sad. I think she wants food or something. Stop leaning on me. She is a little cutie. She's getting kind of big. She weighs like 60-something pounds now. She's a good dog though. Let's see if she'll sit in my lap when I watch. I don't know. Sometimes she'll sit in my lap. Sometimes she don't want to though. Let's see. And her nails are just absolutely just piercing me right now. It's fine.
At this point, the obsessive partner ups the ante. They may suddenly show up to places uninvited.
Oh, she actually smells
they may
too. I need to give her a
alternate
bath.
between pleas to reunite and vows of vengeance. For some desperate or disturbed individuals, the behavior can escalate to stalking, threats, or physical violence. As it turns out, in the midst of those breakups Riley referenced, he'd send Emma the most vile of messages through social media. Among them,
Oh gosh.
I hate you, I hate everything about you. And, you're the biggest I've ever come in contact with.
God!
The messages eventually escalated to a whole new, menacing
What?
level, with one in particular reading, "You're dead to me. I'll check the obituary. F*** you." When Emma's parents caught wind of this,
Jesus!
Riley was understandably no longer allowed in their home.
Why did nobody
They
mention
confiscated
this?
Emma's
Why did nobody mention this?
cell phone in an attempt to end
How did nobody mention this? It's obviously him.
communication between her and Riley, but the attempt failed. They advised Emma to break up with Riley, and her friends did the same. However, Emma wasn't ready to cut ties,
Dang.
and she was one to make her own decisions.
Dang.
It can be incredibly difficult for someone to leave an abusive relationship. Those on the outside often question why someone would stay, but abusers are not abusive all the time, and often have a seemingly loving side to them. By turning the charm on, abusers are able to manipulate their partner into staying, or
Big ol'
giving
rip.
the abuser another chance. However, the cycle of abuse will likely continue, and the level of abuse can escalate over time. And of course, Riley's behavior became
I would absolutely hate to be in an abusive relationship.
increasingly alarming.
That's just
He
tragic.
began stalking Emma. He'd wait for hours on end outside the supermarket where she worked and continued attempting to
Dude.
speak with her, even after Emma's parents had
that's
forbidden
crazy.
contact between the two.
Oh, that's crazy.
Finally, somewhere around early November of
That's right.
2016, Emma ended things with Riley. In
Ah.
fact, she informed a close friend that they were done for good.
Uh-oh.
And for a matter of about 2 weeks,
You hear that,
friends
Drax?
and family had their Emma back. It's important to note that when someone leaves an abusive relationship, this is considered to be the most dangerous time. Once the
For real?
abuser realizes that none
Why did
of
she not
their
tell
usual
anybody this?
tactics are working to get their partner back, their violent behavior may escalate because they feel so out of control. Shortly after Emma ended the relationship, Riley allegedly attempted to take his own life. Campus
Jeez.
friends took him to the local hospital for treatment, effectively saving his life. Maybe
Wha-
it was then that
Wait,
he
why was none of this mentioned? Like, did the cops not know this stuff? All right, Jackson, you're heavy.
Made the ultimate decision. If he couldn't have Emma, he'd see to it that no one would.
Dude,
Then
that's
a crime of
crazy.
convenience presented itself. Back in Riley's previous interrogation, the questioning turned to the missing firearm. Investigators are starting to look at the means and access to the aspects of the crime, which
Better
is,
wear what
in
I
a
tell you,
sense,
Steve, or I'm doing this to you.
Riley's ability to commit
Hey, man, you don't gotta do nothing to me, bro. Just tell me what you want me to wear, bro. I'll pull up on stream.
the crime.
Now, I
Drax, quit it.
understand that your grandfather has had a gun stolen or missing or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
It was during the week, last week, because he came and switched out my car with his car to go get the oil changed back in Knoxville. So he left his car on campus, but he took his keys with him. And he said when he got back, we switched out cars again, and he took off, and he called me maybe 10 minutes later, or 5 or 10 minutes later, and said, "You know where my gun's at?" I said, "No, I haven't been in your car."
Do you remember what time last week that was?
It might have been Friday then. It was Thursday or Friday he came to do that. But he left his car on campus, but he took his keys with him.
Okay.
So I didn't even go to the car because it only took an hour. He brought my car back, we switched out again, and that's when he got on the road and called me about 5 or 10 minutes later and asked if I had messed with his gun.
All right. So did you have a way to use his car? I mean, did he give you a set of keys or
No,
anything?
he took the keys with him.
Well, I mean, I didn't know if you had an extra set or, I mean, like, I've got keys to my brother's vehicle.
He's got an extra to my car that he used. I kept my keys on me because I need a key to my door.
Gotcha.
The detective has a few important questions.
But have you ever taken your grandfather's gun?
No.
Okay. Didn't like take it to show a buddy or anything, bring it back or nothing?
I'm literally so confused by the whole undercover mission thing. Was this before that? This has to be before that, right? The timeline's just so confusing for me.
Okay. Do you have any idea where your grandfather's clock is now?
No.
Because obviously, this has to be before that, and then they released him, right? Right?
Riley maintains constant eye contact here. While many mistakenly believe that eye contact indicates honesty, the opposite is true. Sustained eye contact typically indicates
Good thing I never make eye
dishonesty,
contact.
as the individual is carefully watching to see if their story is being believed.
I understand he told you about the gun. I had that gun because I was scared about what happened. I know you don't believe me. You probably don't either. Whatever.
So this
I'm
was
telling
Riley.
you.
I mean, I don't believe that, but I believe you more that you didn't shoot Emma because that's a big step.
Though we can't be sure which scary occurrence Riley was referring to, we know that the gun went missing before the weekend, and all the events that came with it even arrived. This simply cannot be explained
Okay, that makes
away.
sense. So this must have been after that interview. Must have released him and then set him up like a trap like this, right?
Apparently, before
That's gotta be what
Riley
happened.
actually put the stolen gun to use, he made a couple of last-ditch efforts to reel Emma back in. There was the staged kidnapping. But Emma was wise to his scheming ways and told him to leave her alone. Riley retreated to his friend Noah's home, where he stayed the night. And you probably recall that Noah didn't even buy Riley's story of having been abducted.
I mean, I don't believe that, but I believe you more that you didn't shoot Emma because that's a big step.
Did you tell Noah anything about it?
Yeah. They thought I was messing with them.
This could be an indication that Riley's friends know that he tends to lie or make up stories. Lying is another key trait of individuals with antisocial personality disorder.
You don't say.
These individuals lie in order to manipulate others and get their needs met. Since people with antisocial personality disorder lack empathy,
Dude,
they're
am I
often
antisocial? I might be antisocial.
indifferent to the fact that their lies and
Nah,
manipulation
I stream. What am I talking about?
can harm others. After the staged kidnapping failed to win Emma back, Riley conjured up a new plan and put it into action the following morning, Saturday, November 19th. The infamous masked man, dressed in all black. Emma was so terrified she'd later tell her friend she thought she was going to die.
So you went to the
How
backyard.
does nobody go to the
checked,
cops
see if you saw
about this?
anything. How do you get in the backyard?
A good question here, seeing as how detectives know that a shot was fired into the house from the backyard.
There's a
Did he shoot her through the wall? I want to know how the actual
right side of
shooting
the
happened.
house, there's a gate that has no lock. You can just open up the latches and move it.
Detectives are effectively establishing Riley's familiarity with Emma's house and yard layout, which supports the establishment of ability, knowledge, and opportunity to commit the crime.
I just want to know how it happened.
Knowledge of where to shoot in order to strike or frighten Emma is an important piece of evidence related
Dude,
to
if he's got wall hacks, that's crazy, bro.
his ability to carry out the crime. Of course, by the time Riley arrived, the masked man was conveniently nowhere to be found. Around that very time, Emma's mother returned home.
Her mom pulled up. Mom saw me there. And her parents aren't fond of me, so she just saw me and told me to leave. And I was coming up to the car. I was like, I'm not here to harass her. I was just here because she called for help.
Here are some more authentic displays of Riley's nonverbals. We can be fairly certain this happened just
I want to know how he killed her, brother. No,
and
that's
his
crazy.
gestures are less
I don't get it.
restrained and more
How does nobody hear a gunshot in the middle of the night? Hello?
spontaneous.
Hello?
As well, they easily match up with what he's saying.
Her parents didn't care for me at all.
Why is that?
Because of the first time we broke up.
Uh-oh.
I had cheated on her. And her
Uh-oh.
parents never forgave me for that, even
Yeah, they shouldn't.
when she did. And they never let us have an actual relationship for the remainder of the time we were together.
Uh-oh.
After that, that's when I went back over to Noah's house.
Uh-oh.
Do you have your phone with you?
I did not.
Oh, man. I'd like to see that text message from Emma, just so
I
that I can get
I
a...
don't. After today, I deleted everything.
Huh? So let me get this straight. If you're actually innocent, your girlfriend gets shot or dies, whatever, dies. The first thing you're doing is deleting every memory of her on your texts? Huh? That's the first thing you're doing? Huh?
Because I don't want any. I just don't want to think about it.
Huh?
But clearly, there was a motive behind the act. It wasn't just a case of
He deleted everything. I just didn't want to think about it. Nah.
attempting
Literally just cuff him there. He just confessed.
to spare himself the painful memories of the love he'd once had and lost.
A date, maybe like years or months down the road, maybe you're like, I gotta move on. You know? A day after?
The inspiration behind it was something much more calculated. He wanted to hide the contents of his
Yeah, too bad everything you say is still out there.
conversations
buddy.
with Emma, and didn't want to leave behind any information related to his whereabouts on the night she was killed. Or maybe the text messages never even happened, and Riley is claiming to have deleted them to explain the absence of messages. It would later be found that another one of Emma's friends had witnessed Riley roaming the neighborhood that morning,
Bro, this dude's crazy, bro.
dressed in all black.
All this for a girl, dude. I'm sorry. Just go home and play Call of Duty.
After these most recent failed
Or, you know what? You get broken up with, you go to the gym. That's what I say.
attempts to lure Emma back into his clutches, Riley had come to a crossroads. Emma had drawn the line in the sand. She was done, once and for all. Riley, it seems, was faced with two choices.
Dude, you know what doesn't make sense? You know what really just doesn't make sense? The whole thing with this guy's story, you know what? I'm surprised they didn't call him out on this, right? So you're telling me... I just realized how much sense this doesn't make. I'm gonna be honest. She sees a dude with a mask Friday, or whatever, right? Freaking out, calls a friend. She FaceTimes this guy? Her ex? That she just broke up with 2 weeks ago? That's who she's gonna FaceTime? Huh? Huh?
For one, he could choose
What?
to move on with his own life, just as Emma planned to do. Then there was the other option. Just 2 days later, his decision would be reflected in an utterly horrendous act. You probably recall Riley's story of how Sunday night played out. Well, there was more to it than he'd originally led the detectives to believe. In fact, he'd failed to include the most crucial details about Monday's earliest hours.
But you said Sunday night that you left Noah's around 11.
Yeah.
You went back to campus. You said you got there around 11:45.
Right.
From Mac's phone.
From Mac's phone.
Called Emma from Mac's phone.
Riley had borrowed a phone from his friend Mac Siegel, also a football player at Maryville College,
Mac Siegel.
because Emma had either blocked his number or refused to answer his calls. Coincidentally, Mac was one of the friends who took Riley to the hospital for treatment a week or two earlier after his attempt to take his own life.
God.
Oftentimes, people who were highly manipulative and controlling.
Dude, just think. They were in, like, high school, basically. And this dude just completely ruined his life over one girl.
In relation.
Okay, well, I didn't mean like that. Like, obviously, she's, you know, she's dead. So, like, that's just crazy. It's just crazy that, like, this is a high school, like, level relationship, you know?
Relationships will make.
And it went this far. It's
or
crazy.
Fake an attempt to take their life as a means of trying to manipulate and control their partner. This is truly the ultimate form of emotional manipulation. This was the point where Riley realized he'd have to log out of his grandmother's computer in order to access his college email, or so he said. Then Riley's story took a peculiar detour. A poor attempt to explain away an account of a very suspicious alleged conversation that had made its way back to detectives.
Oh, gosh.
You get back to the dorm, you said around 12:15.
Here we go.
Yeah, my dorm.
Walker's there.
Yes.
So, how do you have a conversation when you come in at 12:15 about how to get fingerprints on?
No, it wasn't.
Yikes. Gotcha, bitch.
A conversation with him. I walked in there and I was about to get on my laptop, so I was in there for maybe 5 minutes and then realized that I had to go back to log myself out of my Maryville College email address.
Huh?
And he was like, hey, I have this rifle or whatever. He was like, do you know how to get smudges and stuff off like the barrel, the handle, the butt, all that?
Dude,
I was
honestly...
like, what do you mean smudges? And he was like your fingerprints, like the oil and dirt and all that. And I was like...
Honestly, it was a decent try. I'm not gonna lie. It was a valiant effort. Honestly, I couldn't come up with something that quick on the spot like that.
I don't know.
My friend had a rifle, and he was trying to clean it or something. Like, I mean, that's just fucking crazy. But like, props, honestly, because like that's a decent. Nah, it sucks. Never mind.
Riley has made a poor attempt to establish an alternate set of facts in order to cover up the conversation about removing fingerprints on a firearm. However, detectives likely believe they have established Riley's knowledge of guilt, despite the fact that Riley was in a state of despair after the phone call with Emma hadn't gone well. He took the time to research the question further.
Yeah. And when I called Noah upset about that, I told Noah on the phone, I said, when I asked him that question, he was like, it's a really sketchy question to ask. And I was like, I know, but you're the first person on the phone, so I figured I would just ask you.
Detectives had to have detected deception in that far-fetched tale. Of course, they let that one go for the time being and continued with Riley's account of that fateful Monday morning.
And then you went back to your grandparents?
Yes, to log out of their laptop.
He hides his hands in his pocket here, a gesture intended to give someone a sense of comfort and safety in a situation that is clearly becoming increasingly more stressful.
Got back to campus around 1 and sat in the car and wept for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, just cried.
And why was that?
Oh, man.
Because I knew she wasn't going to come back, and I've always gotten her to come back in the past, and I was just, she blocked me on everything, so I couldn't send her anything. The only thing I could send her messages on was Twitter, and that's what I told you. I sent her message around 1. I just told her how much I loved her, and that I was sorry that she didn't want what we had anymore, and I hope that she was going to do great things in the future.
It appears that Riley is picking at his nails here, which is a grooming gesture. Grooming.
Bro, I do that all the time. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes on stream, Dude, I'd be picking my toenails, bro.
Alone are not a definite sign of deception, but they do
You didn't hear that.
indicate that the
That wasn't
person
me.
may be feeling uncomfortable and is trying to release some anxiety, possibly because they're lying. Despite Riley saying how much he loved Emma,
Dude, I don't know, bro.
there's no emotion.
I'm nervous, bro. I guess I'm
his
nervous.
voice to support this, and he hasn't expressed any interest in finding out what happened to her.
And I told her I was going to leave her alone after that.
Dude, it's better than dude. Aiden Ross, he bites his toenails on stream, bro. I don't hear it.
But there was one more thing he had to do before he'd leave her alone.
Is anybody saw you in your car?
Not that I know of. I was looking at my phone all the time, looking at pictures of us.
For 3 hours?
For 3 hours? Yeah.
I mean, 2.5 maybe. I mean,
It was only 2.5, buddy. Come on, I'm not some creep.
I just sat there and cried. I've done that before.
This went.
You've done that before? You sat in your car for 2.5 hours and cried about her before?
Window of time supposedly spent in his car is a convenient explanation of his whereabouts for those 3 hours, which we know was precisely the time that Emma was killed in her room. Also convenient is the fact that no one saw him because he was alone in his car. So a roommate, for instance, can't be questioned later and asked when Riley returned to the dorm that night. Riley, the master manipulator, is using his go-to tactic, his supposed emotional distress. The detective then deferred to his partner and asked if he had any questions. However, Riley was wise to the tactic.
They were playing the good cop, bad cop, bro. Like, they legit, like, I didn't know cops actually did that shit, and they do. Because the one
So this is after they released him.
that was being decent was asking me all the questions, and then when he was done, he'd be like, do you have any questions? And then the guy would just be like, yeah, I was just wondering why you're a little foggy on who you're with, and you seem like you're kind of lying to it. And I was like, I'm not lying.
Yet it didn't quite unfold like Riley had described.
You worked at Eagles, did you not?
Yes.
Have you ever had any
But he got caught.
disturbance or anything with her at Eagles?
Disturbances.
Have y'all ever got in a fight in the parking lot or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't remember what day, but it was a week, maybe a week and a half ago. I met her when she was going into work because she had done the same thing she'd been doing. She'd been blocking me, telling me that she was done, and I went there and I told her I was trying to just get her to reason with me.
Then the
Bro, this
bad
dude's an absolute creep, bro.
cop has a few more pertinent questions for Riley.
And every time I talk to somebody, the gun has come up, the Ingalls, in the Ingalls parking lot. You turn there with a gun, they're saying that I may have a gun, I don't want nobody else to have you or anything like that?
Not in the Eagles parking lot.
Not there, but have you done that before then?
No, I've never done that.
Why does people say that you may have a gun?
I don't know.
I mean, they're your friends. I mean, they're your boys. They're your peeps. Why would they keep telling me that that you have a gun?
His boys be snitching.
So there's Alex, Isaac, and Noah. Is your three best friends?
3 of them, yes.
I mean, y'all pretty. I mean, so you spent all weekend with Noah, correct?
We're close.
Okay.
Yes.
Are they liars? Are they dishonest?
Everybody's a liar.
False. I don't lie.
No, not necessarily. Everybody lies. I don't know why they would lie or why they got that common misconception that I...
Would one of them have it?
The gun?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think one of them have it?
No.
Would somebody in your circle have it?
Nobody could get to it. My grandfather always kept it under his car or under the bed.
Naturally, Riley wasn't pleased that his friend
Say under his car? Huh? What do you mean by
had
that?
disclosed information about the gun they knew he had in his possession. His displeasure is clearly reflected in a text message thread between him and his friend Alex, shortly after Riley's only interview took place. Why did you tell him about the gun?
Uh-oh.
Riley asks
Friends
Alex.
getting flamed.
They think I shot her because of it. Please
Alex
text me
getting
back.
flamed.
Among Alex's replies,
If you didn't do anything, you have anything to hide, bro, and figured you might use it to kill yourself after all this happened. I'm worried about. Dude, what a response, bro. Tell me you friend, dude. Oh, you came up with that on the fly. Why did you tell me you were trying to get rid of the gun?
if you didn't do anything,
Dude, no, that's
you had
actually
nothing
big
to
brain.
hide. Why did you tell me you were trying to get rid of the gun? You lied and
Gladden said you already gave it back to your grandpa, and then your mom came outside and she said she couldn't
Said
find
you
it.
already gave it back to your grandpa.
Oh.
Then, that evening, Riley followed up with some questionable legal counsel for both Alex and Noah.
What I'm saying is if I have to go to court in front of a grand jury or anything and you have to testify, or if the cops come and talk to you again, whenever you talk to them, just be like, you were too afraid to tell them that you were on acid. Because you thought you were going to get in trouble.
No, that's true. I would never mention that, you know.
Yeah, and if anything about that gun, just say, I must have misunderstood or something because I was tripping balls. I really
Nah.
don't know what was going on. He was just, like, Riley was just complaining to me about some stuff. I guess I thought I heard something about a gun. And his grandfather thinking that he took it. You know, if you tell him you're on LSD, you were drunk, and you were high.
Huh? Ain't no way I'm taking that fall from my boy who just killed somebody. You were drunk? High?
Your mind was altered. Whatever statement you give them wasn't a straightforward answer. If you just tell them that you were on acid, high, and drunk, and just you didn't really understand what I was saying, you just kind of went along with it. I just tell them I was the only sober person here. And I guess I'll talk to Isaac because Isaac's going to be sketchy about that too, with telling the cops that he was on a drug, but I'll talk to him another time.
The detectives decide it's time to confront Riley.
Uh-oh.
It's obvious he isn't being forthcoming with them, and they definitely aren't convinced by his elaborate lies. They apply more pressure as they lay it all out for him.
We have a gun that belongs to your grandfather.
Dude, yeah, the fact he didn't see the camera, bro. Imagine if he saw the camera. They could probably 2v1 him.
That is missing. Okay. We have...
I wonder if the cops were, like, outside. You know, like, on stand. I feel like they should be, right? In case something bad happened, you know?
all your friends saying that you've been talking about this gun. We have one of your friends saying that he saw you with the gun, that you showed him the gun. And that you told him you got it from your grandfather. Okay? Okay. I find it hard to believe that these guys are just making this up.
I don't have anything else to say. I've told you the truth from me. So that's, if it's going to be the same question, that's the same answer.
Riley is clearly frustrated at this point, but he sticks with his original story and remains consistent. In a last-ditch effort to get more from Riley, the detectives divulge a bit of what they've found so far.
We recovered some rounds, and those rounds happen to match the same type of ammunition that your grandfather uses in his gun.
So you do know how she died? And
I didn't say that. I said that we have recovered some rounds, and those rounds are the same type of rounds that your grandfather uses in his gun.
Look at his hand movement. Even while in his pocket, his hands shift up to cover his stomach when he's told the bullets match his grandfather's gun. When someone finds themselves in a vulnerable situation, they may put their hands over their stomach to comfort themselves and feel more protected. When a suspect doesn't show a level of concern that is appropriate for the situation, detectives will see this as a red flag. While it's true that people may handle grief and difficult news differently, having a complete lack of reaction to finding out the cause of your loved one's unexpected death would be unusual for someone who is innocent. Riley's focus throughout the interrogation has remained on himself, and he hasn't expressed any interest in finding out what happened to the girl he supposedly loved. Of course, we're now aware that he knows exactly what happened to Emma.
If I am able to find your grandfather's gun, then I can match that to these rounds that I found and determine whether or not that gun and these rounds are actually from the same place. So, help me.
I'm helping you.
Okay.
I don't know.
I understand that.
But Riley sticks to his story.
Your timeline, while it's somewhat consistent, still has holes in it.
There's one major hole in his story.
Let's hear it.
You say you sat in the car for 3 hours and wept?
Yeah.
Yeah,
let me ask you, did you call anybody during that time? Any friends or family or anything like that?
Of course, Riley can't recall for sure.
Can't recall
He'd
even
have
though
to
it was
take
a
a
day
look at his
ago.
cell phone, which conveniently is not on him at this time. But with the help of local cell towers, Riley's path during those 3 hours is traced, and the findings completely destroy his story.
Uh-oh.
Riley left campus slightly before 12:15 a.m.
Dude, that's crazy. That they could track your phone like this? No, that's actually insane. So, like, they know exactly where he was, like, the past, like, week or something? No, that's crazy.
Just as he'd stated. However, he didn't return until approximately 4:20 a.m.
That's
At the
crazy.
time Emma's death was estimated to have occurred, roughly around
they be
3
snitching on
a.m.,
him.
Riley was clearly in the vicinity of Emma's home,
Uh-oh.
nowhere near the college campus.
Uh-oh.
This evidence is difficult to refute, to say the least. As the interview is coming to a close, the bad cop drops one more bombshell on Riley.
Outside that house today, the house was shot up, a couple rounds. All right. The rounds that were found out.
Dude, how does nobody hear the gun? I have to know that part. I mean, it makes zero sense.
Okay. The rounds that were found out there came from your grandfather's gun.
I don't know where the gun's at.
Well, who would want to shoot that? Who would want to take your grandfather's gun and take it to that house and shoot at that house?
I don't know. I do not know where the gun is.
Do you know anybody who'd want to do that?
I don't know anyone that would ever want to hurt that girl.
Riley's detachment and lack of feeling for Emma is evidenced in the way he repeatedly refers to her as that girl, rather than using her name. This also allows him to distance himself from her. Riley remains unaffected by the pressure and is very confident, so much so that it almost seems as if this is something he's familiar with.
Yeah,
Though Riley may appear unaffected by the pressure, he's rubbing his face, which is generally considered to be a self-soothing behavior.
Dude, I do that all the time.
Then
Shut
the
up.
detective proposes a potential explanation.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he's trying to hurt her. Maybe somebody's trying to scare her or something. I'm not saying that that's what's happened over there. I'm saying that the house was shot.
No, I don't know anyone that would want to do that.
The detective seems to be trying to provide Riley with a way out, a possible explanation.
I just want to know how nobody hears the gun.
Because it's likely easier
It's
for
crazy.
Riley to confess that he was trying to scare Emma, rather than confessing to intentionally trying to shoot her. The detective is probably hoping that Riley will find himself cornered, and then ultimately confess to this less severe explanation of Emma's death. Make a mental note of the detective's explanation.
Maybe somebody's trying to scare her or something. I'm not saying that that's what's happened over there.
You'll see that it will surface again shortly. At this point, the detectives have found themselves between a rock and a hard place.
This is over?
They're not gaining any ground.
This is over?
The interview is concluded.
What?
Riley seems confident that he's outmaneuvered the detectives, as if he already has this one in the bag.
They interrogated me for 2.5 hours. If they could, they would have arrested me already.
Riley is likely
For
feeling
real.
confident that as long as he gets rid of the gun, the detectives won't have enough evidence to convict him. He may have an inflated sense of self-esteem and believe he can outsmart the police and even get away with murder. However, as he sits on this very sofa before two of his closest friends and feeds them false information to relay to law enforcement, there's much more going on behind the scenes than he could ever imagine. The sting operation was carried out Tuesday night, just one day after Emma was murdered and Riley was questioned. As you heard, everything went down as planned, and the operation proved to be a success. When the trial
What? This is such an L ending. No.
around in May of 2018, Riley and his attorneys adopted a creative defense. You probably recall this.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he's trying to hurt her. Maybe somebody's trying to scare her or something. I'm not saying that that's what's happened over there. I'm saying that the house
Let me guess. Their defense is that he was trying to scare her.
was shot.
No, I don't know anyone that would want to do that.
Well, according to his attorney, Riley had never intended to harm Emma. The 2 gunshots that pierced the exterior walls of her home were simply another attempt to scare Emma, in hopes she'd reach out to him for help once again. He never intended to shoot her, they claimed. In the end, though, the jury found no credibility.
I am so confused by this. I'm literally so confused by this case. I have
in the
so many
defense.
questions that are just not
Riley
answered.
was found guilty of stalking, theft, reckless endangerment, possession of a firearm during a dangerous felony, and, of course, first-degree murder. And in Tennessee, a first-degree murder conviction is accompanied by an automatic life sentence. In keeping with her thoughtful nature, March 24th will remain Emma Walker Day in Knoxville. It will remain a time to recall happy memories
I'm
and
so
perform
confused.
random acts of kindness in memory of a kind soul whose life was cut far too short.
Dude, please tell me I can answer. How does nobody hear the gun? Dude, please tell me I'm stupid or something. How would nobody hear the gun? And second, how the hell did he shoot her, like, and kill her through the wall? No, it makes zero sense. Dude, I need to know. No, it actually makes zero sense. I'm gonna leave a comment or something, you know, like. Dude, actually, it's so weird. And it just so happens to hit her head, and the parents never see blood. No, like that is so weird. It's so weird. Like, why is nobody saying something about he shot it off to scare her and accidentally hit her? It's just crazy. Maybe, do you guys think there's any chance that he actually tried to scare her and he accidentally hit her? You guys think there's any chance? There's like that would be like horrible luck, right? That would be absolutely horrible luck. Dude, this guy is just asking all the questions we need to know. Undead Steve, what a guy. Dude, somebody has to ask the question. I agree, this channel is addicting. Yeah, that is kind of bad. He literally cheated on her. Like, dude, guys are such scumbags, honestly. I don't have enemies, but I was kidnapped 4 days ago by... No, that's actually funny. That's like... Oh... What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Yeah, what do you think, Stan? What's your professional opinion? I need somebody to give me a logical explanation to the two questions I have. How did he hit her in the head? And how did nobody hear the gun? There's got to be a logical explanation, right? Hey, Felicity and MJ, how's it going? A raid? Do I not have like raid notifications on? How you guys doing? We just wrapped up watching a crime documentary. We're about to start another one. I just have so many questions on this one. I don't know. It actually just blows my mind. Bro, ferreted. Dude, I'm actually addicted to this channel too. It is such a sad story too. Maybe I'm just being ultra detective, but I'm like the only one. Yeah, what was the kidnapping about? Why did he even say the thing about the kidnapping? And how does... So, I don't know, Stan, I think you missed that part. Her mom called 911 seeing her, right? If she got shot in the head, would there not be blood everywhere? Because all she said was, she doesn't have a pulse. She's frantic, right? She says, she doesn't have a pulse, and her tongue's sticking out. Would you not, if you were on a 911 call, wouldn't you say, like, there's blood everywhere? I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at, but, like, I don't know. Hopefully somebody just answers my question. That's just, like, gotta be the most confusing case ever. That's what I'm saying, bruh. Like, let's just go back to the 911 call real quick, and then we'll go to the next one. Just listen to the 911 call. See if they say at the beginning.
Two young men suspect a member of their own circle may be their friend.
Oh my God! Oh, what you got?
Met a tragically abrupt end. Initially, it seemed it was some sort of terrible accident. There was no other way to explain it. However, investigators would soon untangle a twisted web of lies and uncover the horrific reality. So many times before, Jill went...
Okay, here we go. Listen to this. Listen to this.
I just tried to wake up my daughter for school, and she has no pulse. How old is she? She's 16.
You said that she's non-responsive?
Yeah, her tongue's hanging out of her mouth.
Stay on the line. I'm transferring you to Rural Metro.
I don't know, dude. I'm so lost by that whole case. It's so weird. All right, we need like an hour one. When the killer's the first to arrive at the scene, how about that one? You guys want to see that one? No, that's just crazy. Dude, I mean, personally, I would say there's blood everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. Dude, I kind of like I like the self-reports. Let's do let's do when the killer is the first to arrive at the murder scene. Let's do this one. This is 4 days ago.
Fate, the police rushed right past their suspect on their way into a horrific murder scene. Not only that, but the suspect was also caught on camera by a TV crew outside the home moments after they had just committed an atrocious act. And despite all of this evidence, they shockingly still attempted to act as though they were innocent.
Oh, this
Hello?
has got to be funny. This has got to be
Somebody
funny.
got in the house and attacked me and my husband, and I'm all bloody, and I'm an old woman.
It's crazy. You know,
Aw, that's actually
it's
sad.
crazy, man. I don't know what happened. It was a fight, a killing, a robbery. See, I'm not even a wicked person. I wouldn't do nothing crazy or savage, you know.
Crazy and savage barely even begin to describe the absolutely horrific nature of the attack that occurred on that summer night of 2014.
They beat these people in the head, and they're like 100 years old.
Somebody come. I need help.
Okay, they're on their way there now, okay?
And I'm on the floor, and my husband's been hit in the head, and I've been beat on the head.
Don't hang up, okay?
Yeah, dang.
Don't hang up, Harriet.
My head hurts. I'm laying in the hallway.
The only element more shocking than the identities of the victims would be the revelation of the weapon used to inflict each devastating blow. Only an incredibly deranged individual would transform such a normal, everyday item into a murder weapon. Almost an entire century earlier, in 1916,
it's really sad.
Robert Andy Anderson was born in Kearney, Iowa. He married
Nah,
Harriet
why
in
the old people?
1937.
Nah. Why the old people? What we got
Then
against
joined
old
the Navy
people?
several years later, in the heart of World War II.
Oh, that's crazy.
The two started a family and a successful business. In 1950, Vista Kennels was established in Des Moines, Iowa, on the very property of the home they purchased in 1947. It was Andy himself who constructed the kennel, using repurposed World War II wooden ammunition boxes. Andy spent his career at Anderson Erickson Dairy as office manager until his retirement. All the while, Harriet handled the kennel business until the Andersons decided the time had come to take a step back and enjoy a peaceful retirement together. But tragically, that wouldn't be the case. In addition to the fact that the couple had no known enemies whatsoever, a motive behind the attack was nowhere to be found.
Oh, no.
The community and law enforcement alike were completely baffled. It was approximately 7:44 p.m. on July 2nd when the 911 call came in, and it was anything but routine.
Can you tell me what they looked like? In a car?
What?
Did they have a gun?
No, I don't know. He had something hard. Piece of metal.
He was armed with. Okay, what did he look like?
He kept beating me on the head.
God.
When my head hurt.
Was he white?
Oh my gosh.
What?
Was he white or black?
He was black.
What color was his outfit?
I think it was black or white. I think it was white. I can't remember because he was kept hitting me on the head.
From what the dispatcher was able to gather, Harriet and her husband's home had been invaded, and they'd both been viciously attacked.
Their husband
It would later
died?
be determined that Harriet had answered a knock at the door, and immediately, the encounter took a violent turn.
Yikes.
A man barged into the Anderson home. He struck Harriet on the head repeatedly with what was believed to be a metal bar. A lens from
Yikes.
Harriet's glasses lay in the entryway,
Nah.
and a hearing aid battery was also reported to
Nah.
have been found nearby.
This is so sad.
It seems that after 94-year-old Harriet had been knocked to the ground, the perpetrator made his
94?
way to 97-year-old Andy.
97?
Defenseless in his recliner.
What?
Andy was brutally beaten over the head, just as Harriet had been. The blood from both victims told a
What?
story of unthinkable horror, each strike to the head having created its own pattern of splatter on the walls and
Dude.
carpet. Amazingly, Harriet was able to muster the strength to crawl to a nearby phone.
Oh my
and she had the
God.
wherewithal to place the desperate call for help. Approximately 7 minutes after Harriet managed to make the 911 call, the first members of law enforcement arrived at the scene. This particular evening was unique, as the
Wait. Was that him at the door?
TV show Cops happened
They had a camera crew? Oh, this is
to
crazy.
have a camera crew riding along with a patrol officer. In fact, we'll hear from the crew shortly, and as you'll see, they'll have some groundbreaking information to share. A dash cam from the second patrol vehicle to approach the home captured the initial activity at the scene. A young man was curiously stationed at the front door of the
Oh my. No shot. No shot.
Anderson home. In the midst of the chaos,
No shot. He's just standing there.
officers and the camera crew brushed
No
past the
shot.
stranger, bizarrely
Wait.
not
Why does nobody talk to him? Hello? It's just some random dude standing there?
stopping to ask for his identity, despite the fact that he was standing at
What?
the front door of the home where an attack had just taken place.
What?
Entering the residence, officers happened upon the absolutely barbaric
What?
crimson surroundings. It was clear that the assailant didn't intend for either victim to survive the ruthless attack. In Harriet's
Yikes.
desperate 911 call, she was able to provide a brief description of the assailant.
Was he by himself?
Yeah, as far as I know, he was in the
Dude, how did
house
she
by
survive,
himself.
though?
Okay, and he assaulted your husband too?
A young, thin man, and he was black.
Soon after entry was made, officers recalled the description Harriet gave of the suspect. And
There he
it was
is.
quickly determined that the man who was at the front door, the same man that the officers had simply walked
Dude,
right past,
don't tell me he just like ran away
could
after
be a
this.
possible match to the description.
Ah,
However, when an officer returned to the entryway, The mysterious man had vanished without
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
so much as a trace, or so they thought.
I'm sorry, but that has to be the dumbest cops I've ever seen in my life. I have ever seen in my life. A guy randomly standing outside a house where a couple just got brutally assaulted. And this guy's standing outside the door and nobody thinks to say, hey, who are you? What are you doing here? Huh?
Harriet and Andy were transported to Mercy Medical Center. Sadly,
I guess maybe they were just fully focused on getting them help, maybe. But like there was like 3 cops, maybe one of them could just be like, hey, who are you? Nobody says anything?
Andy had succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead at the hospital.
That's so sad.
And with that,
that's so
the
sad.
investigation into a brutal home invasion morphed into one that centered around homicide.
That's so sad.
It was a miracle that Harriet survived to tell of
That
the
is
vicious
so
attack,
sad,
considering the seriousness of wounds she'd sustained. The visible injuries to her head were gut-wrenching, but what could not be seen by the
how
naked
did she survive?
was much worse. During the course of the beating she'd endured, she had suffered a fracture to her skull. As you'll see, the identification
How did
of the
she
weapon
survive?
couldn't be more shocking. Emergency medical staff managed to
Oh my
stabilize Harriet, and
gosh.
her condition was soon categorized as fair. Back at the crime scene, a potential suspect was located and apprehended nearby. He was handcuffed and placed in the front of a patrol car.
Dude, nah, this is crazy.
Have a seat.
Bro, who would actually do this? Who would actually do something like this?
So what's going on?
Nothing.
All right, let's just put a tier list of most suspicious answers to have when a cop asks you what's going on. Nothing.
You got any warrants?
No.
Jax, get your ball. I'll give you some food.
Say he's walking. Just so he's walking. He came from the apartments. What happened over there?
Why does he look like that? Sit. Like the most suspicious looking person I've ever seen in my life.
But officers are skeptical that the man before them is the perpetrator they are
He's
desperately
side-eyeing
looking
cop.
for.
No. Why is his mouth like that to you?
62150.
Yeah, that's not.
Nah, how can somebody do this though?
Because you can see me run right by him.
You know, that he may have continued into Altoona if that was the right track. He may have been
My man's blinking a little
ahead of this
fast,
guy.
man. Is that a sign of lying?
You know what's funny is I initially came over here and we're thinking he wouldn't have made it this far.
Man's got them automatic blinkers.
Soon, a detective arrives and speaks with the individual who's been detained. He quickly
get your
confirms
ball.
that this man does
I'll get you
not
some food.
match
Go
the
get your ball.
description of the suspect. The young man's handcuffs are removed shortly thereafter, and he's given a ride
Breathing,
to
I think
a
that's a sign of
local
lying.
restaurant.
100%.
With that, law enforcement members are back at square one. However,
What? Wait, what did I just miss? What did he say? Hold on. I'm gonna get Drax for you. She's bugging me. Come here. Come here. Give me. Come here. Hey, let me have it. God. I just can't get over the fact that dude's sitting outside. I can't get over that fact. No, these videos are crazy today.
he quickly confirms that this man does not match the description
What?
of the suspect. The young
Dude, I'm sorry, but he was wearing a white shirt, black and thin.
man's handcuffs are removed shortly thereafter, and
Eh?
he's given a ride to a local restaurant. With that, law enforcement members are
What?
back at square one. However, they won't remain in this position for long.
Dude, what?
The cops' camera crew had also made it to the site where the potential suspect had been detained. In addition to having captured the critically injured victims and the crime scene, they first caught something else that would prove crucial to the investigation.
Apparently he's too short.
They had footage that clearly showed
No, I can't. I can't. This makes zero sense. This makes zero sense again already. This video makes zero sense. What if he was like, you know, it'd be funny if he's like, that's my grandma in there. Like, you think that's what he said?
An image of the man standing at the front door of the Anderson home following the attack. The detective and officers took photos of paused video footage using their cell phones, and with the help of locals within a small radius of the victim's home, the man was identified, and officers were quickly directed to a nearby townhome. It was the residence of Nyanyul Padit, her boyfriend Janab Reith, and their 6...
What? What?
Were quickly directed to a nearby townhome. It was the residence of Nyanyul Padit, her boyfriend Janab Reith, and their 6 children. It just so happened that Nyanyul's eldest child matched the suspect's description. But upon arrival of law enforcement, the young man was found tucked in his bed, seemingly asleep. He was quite confused as to why officers were in his bedroom. Even so, the young man, identified as Noor McCoy, was detained, placed in handcuffs, and transported to the Des Moines police station for questioning.
Bro, that hair, bro. That hair, bro. Man's got the Jimmy Neutron.
His mother and her boyfriend followed. Shortly thereafter, detectives began interviews, along with the arduous task of piecing everything together. The following never-before-seen footage has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed attorney, a licensed clinical psychologist.
Dude, I thought the last one was confusing, but honestly, nothing could be more confusing than them walking past the killer and not saying a word to this guy. There's no way.
Former licensed professional counselor
zero shot.
And a licensed professional counselor.
There's no way that's real.
They started with the cops' crew, 2 witnesses who were among the earliest to arrive at the grisly scene, and both members of the crew had taken note of Noor upon arrival.
Jesse Reisdorf.
For the record, you work for Couch Production?
Yes.
You were the cameraman tonight?
Yes, we got out of the vehicle. While we were walking up to the house, there was a younger black male standing in front of the door. Yeah, medical showed up. We went outside. Black male was gone.
Despite the fact that Jesse was focused on capturing video footage of the scene, he was able to give a detailed description of the suspect.
Well, I would hope so. I would hope so. You walked right past him.
Could you describe him to me? Height, stature, age?
He's probably about 5'8". I'd say probably about 140, 150 pounds.
Okay.
Under 20. And he had on a gray hooded sweatshirt and what I thought were black or gray basketball shorts with a black stripe.
Man, he knows his stuff. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, that was about it. He had his hood up.
The crew also made their way to the townhome where Noor was detained.
And have you had an opportunity to see the possible suspect that we brought in here tonight? Did you make any observations about if he was the same person you saw at the scene? Could you tell that or not?
Not positively.
Okay.
But it just seemed to me that it was, but not positively.
Okay.
At the conclusion of Jesse's brief interview, he reiterated that the man he observed at the townhome was very likely the same man he'd witnessed at the Anderson residence. Jesse's counterpart and audio specialist sat for a brief interview that night as well. And as you'll see, he was more certain of what he'd seen earlier that night.
What's your name again, sir?
Carlos. Dude, that hairstyle's crazy. For real, Jack.
Mitch.
For real.
Can you just run through what you observed or what you remember hearing
Nah.
about it?
As we were walking in, there was a gentleman who was standing by the door. Gentleman said something about they're cleaning. We thought it was he.
You said he was there cleaning, something about that?
Something to that effect. I also remember him having the puffy cheeks.
Puffy cheeks.
Then Carlos sums everything up based on his account.
I'm just glad they got him, and it is the guy.
Dude, it just makes no sense.
From what I saw, it is the guy. You guys got the right guy.
Did you see him bring that in here?
Yes.
Okay.
No mistaking it. The footage that the crew had captured would prove to be invaluable to the investigation.
What?
Detectives decide to speak.
Invaluable?
Next with Noor's mother and her boyfriend. While all of
Invaluable, is that what
the
they
interviews are
said?
taking place, Noor has been left on his own in an interrogation room. But that doesn't mean he hasn't already started talking.
Oh, yeah. He's already talking. Is this Russell 2.0 right here? Is he about to tell the whole story?
In about 3 seconds, you'll see some of his bizarre one-sided
Oh, here we go.
This world is crazy, man. This world is truly crazy. The truth will prevail. The truth will reveal itself, so.
No. No.
This is crazy. Like, no, literally, this is crazy. I'll never do nothing evil. That's not me. I know myself, man. I understand myself. Like, pretty well. I know what I would do and wouldn't do.
Sometimes.
No shot, bro. There's no shot this is real.
When people
I think some of these are staged now. There's no way this exists.
have these sorts of rambling conversations with themselves, it could be an indication of
You know what I think it is? I think he's practicing. I think he's practicing for whenever they actually are interviewing him. That's my guess.
This. However, we can't make any conclusions about Noor's mental health just yet. There are other factors that must be present in order to consider that a person may be struggling with psychosis. For instance, when a person is actively psychotic, there are often impairments in their ability to communicate with others, such as answering questions in an interrogation setting. They may speak fluently, but their ability to understand and process information and remain on topic are typically impaired when there is active psychosis, among other observable issues and deficits. It could also be that Noor is prepping his alibi and explanations. This sort of dress rehearsal is common among criminal suspects. These statements can likely
Who
be
said that,
shown in
Chad?
court,
Who
even if he
said
hasn't
that?
been Mirandized. While the suspect
Investigator
is in custody,
Steven, that's who said it.
No one has asked
I
him
know my
questions
stuff.
to this point.
The hairstyle's enough for him to stay insanity. Honestly, he might get away with it. He might get away with it there.
Strange, to say the least. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The detectives start the interviews with Noor's parents by gathering some background information.
Is this your son run into you?
That's my stepson.
Your stepson, okay. It's her son, okay. What's his name?
Noor, N-G-O-R.
His birthday?
Yes, it's May 25th, 95.
They run through a brief description of the day, and both Nyaniel and Janub explain that they went to work at their shared place of employment, the Altoona Inn. They worked their 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. shift, ran a couple errands, then returned home. Soon after, they headed to a local grocery store called Hy-Vee.
And was Noor with you?
Yeah.
After Hy-Vee, where'd you go?
I came back home.
Back home with the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this like even a case? Can somebody please answer that question for me? Why is this even a case? Is it not just like his face is on that camera? It's right there. Fleed the scene. Why do they even got to interview all these people? They're just wasting time.
When I come back, 3:45.
I guess that's why I'm not the investigator, you know?
Nyaniel tells of something
What do I know?
unusual that occurred.
What do I
that
know? You know
evening.
what? He might have just been checking up on his neighbors. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know what? He might have just been a good guy checking up on old grandma. Grandma, you okay in there? Just getting beat on. Just sitting outside the door. That's, you know what? But he didn't want to intrude on their home, and that's why he was outside the door. You know what? It all makes
When
sense.
I came from work,
I was just assuming that he was guilty. That is my bad, guys. That is my apologies. I assume guilty. That's my fault.
and some beer.
Some beer?
Yeah, and some liquor.
Yeah.
They call Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just put them in a table because I need to put food in the fridge. My son came behind me. I didn't see him. He take the cup and take the
I bet he's just prediction. I bet he's schizophrenic.
Martin.
Captain Morgan?
Yeah.
The rum? Yeah.
He go to the bathroom, he locked the door. So after I put the food in the fridge, I try to look in the table. I see the drink went back down.
The liquid you can see that somebody had.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did have my daughter. Who did this?
Do you have 13-year-old?
Yeah, the
Okay.
13 years old. He told me it's your son.
Noor?
No.
Yeah.
I told her where she at. It's in the bathroom. I say, Mom, what are you doing in the bathroom? No, Mom, I'm using bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I say, no, you're not. Open the bathroom. No, I'm using it. I say,
It's cleaning that blood.
I sit down by the door to make sure what he's doing in the bathroom.
Okay.
So when he came out, I see him in a cup, holding the cup.
Cup?
So I told him, so you drink a liquor. He told me, you never read anyway. You need to read first. This one is not a liquor. I say, yes, it's a liquor.
What?
I know I drink, but...
Dude, don't tell me right now. Do not tell me this all happened because this guy drank liquor. Do not tell me that's why this happened.
This is crazy, man.
Why you drinking?
Uh-huh.
So over there, he told me, okay, Mom, stop. I'm going out to walk. That's the way he told me. So he go out. I say, where? You gonna go to walk? I say, I'm going to walk around here, and I'll be right back. I say, okay.
According to both Nyanul and Janub, Noor hadn't been gone for more than what seemed like a matter of minutes before law enforcement paid them a visit.
Also show up and knock the door.
Okay.
I was surprised. And show me the picture. The police asked me, this is all your kids in here or you have another child?
Bro, this is unreal.
I say, no. The picture he just showed me is my son.
Yes.
Where do your son at? I say he went out. He told me
that just confirms it right there. I mean, she just identified that kid in that picture as her son, right?
Walk around.
Right?
Oh, yeah. I recognize this kid as my kid.
You recognize Noor?
Yeah, I recognize him as a picture. And that was surprising me. I said, then what's going on? I said, no, we want to talk to him first.
You didn't know he came back?
No, we don't know.
What? I'm not even gonna try. I ain't even gonna try.
What happened? That's the thing.
Okay.
After I run up there,
So you got the investigators over here talking to the parents, and this dude's over there interrogating himself. He's just spilling the beans.
I see him door is open.
You went to his coat?
Yeah, I did go there. I see him, he's sleeping. So I run out again. I didn't put the clothes on. I told the police, I got him up there. He's sleeping. He tried to wake him up. He don't know what he's saying.
When I don't even know I'm asleep or I'm alive.
It's then that Nyanul
that man is
makes
off
a
his rocker.
shocking discovery.
He grabbed
It's got blood on it.
the sweater. I see the blood in here. I say, Mom, what is this?
The gray hoodie that he's wearing?
Gray sweater.
Okay.
I see the blood. I say, what is this, Mom?
So you're telling me that guy was at the scene, outside the door, with a bloody hoodie on? Maybe you guys can figure it out, because I'm just lost. That just doesn't seem like enough evidence for me. I don't know who could have done it.
What? Nothing, Mom. I say, no. Tell the police the truth. Are you involved for fighting?
How? I want to know why. I gotta know that motive.
You look like it's tired. Until the police give him the time to find the
Top 10 greatest cover-ups of all time.
Where he went.
Dude, it's like, I don't know if you ever played Among Us, but I played a lot of Among Us. It's like literally the equivalent of an Among Us of everybody just watched this guy kill this dude, and they're walking straight away from the body, and the body gets reported. And it'd be like if nobody even just mentioned that guy. That's exactly what it'd be like.
You know.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly.
That's exactly it.
Outside.
Right.
By the way, I get all these skills from Among Us. You know, you're looking at 100 hours. I got a couple 100 hours in that game. You know what I'm saying? That's where I get all my detective work from. Is playing Among Us. You know.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I should be qualified to be one of these guys right here. I'm gonna go apply for one of their jobs. They say, "What's your experience?" I say, "Check my hours on Steam on Among Us." Probably like 500.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I need to know.
I will be hired on the spot.
We're trying to know too, so that's why we're
What's
talking.
going on?
Yeah.
The thing is, what happened? I shouldn't have drank that night.
Bad. Just kidding. I'll solve the Zodiac Killer case.
I wouldn't know.
500 hours Among Us, bro. I guess you
It
See
appears
a lot of
that
this knowledge
Nora
up here, you know what I'm
remembers
saying?
having a drink, although it's a different type.
I think I might have solved this one already, but I'm not gonna preemptively assume who it is. But I think I might have a clue, maybe.
Of alcohol than
who
what
it
his
is,
mom
maybe.
described. The fact that he remembers this detail may make it more difficult for detectives to believe that he doesn't remember anything else that
For real.
happened. In addition, Nora's mother makes a strange observation.
So when I pick up the blanket, it's really wet.
Okay. What, like sweat or what, like
Sweater.
Like,
It's
okay,
sweater,
like he was
like
sweating.
water.
Or that he took a shower or something. You
Yeah.
took a shower?
Did he take a shower?
No, I don't have no idea.
Unfortunately,
Dude, everybody in chat, by the way, I see a lot of new faces and stuff. You know, if you guys like crime videos and stuff like this, I've been absolutely addicted to them. I'm gonna start posting them, like the reaction stuff from the lives. But like, I do these lives pretty much every night. It's like 5 days a week, and we usually just react to stuff like this. But I'm down to react to whatever. So yeah, if you guys like the these kind of cases and stuff, just drop a sub for me. I'm trying to work my way all the way up to like 200s at my next goal. So you know.
Nora's mother will soon find that what happened is much worse than she could have ever imagined.
I'm not even a wicked person.
He's still talking. He's still talking to himself. What are we doing?
Crazy or savage. No, that's not me.
Really?
As detectives attempt to make sense of the baffling situation,
I wouldn't even go
they
in there.
Inquire about Nora's finances. Perhaps this is where the motive lies.
Money.
Maybe the whole thing was a burglary gone horribly wrong.
Nah.
If he doesn't have a job and when you don't give him an allowance, what does he do for money?
Sells drugs.
Does he ever have money?
We've never seen money from him.
Okay.
If he have money, he might be kept him somewhere.
You provide his clothes, everything
Yeah,
he
we
wears.
buy him the shoes.
Come
buy him
on,
the
bro.
clothes, never give him the cash.
Obviously, Nora was.
Oh
living
my god! Look at that! Jeez!
his parents, and
That hair is
apparently he felt
wicked,
that high
bruh.
School wasn't for
No,
him.
that's crazy.
We don't know yet if Nor has severe mental illness, but if he does, it wouldn't be surprising that
He
he won't
kinda
drop out of
cute.
school.
Bro, get the hell out of
Teenagers
here.
with severe mental health issues often struggle to develop peer relationships and are often isolated from others in school. They may also struggle academically, as their symptoms can make it difficult for them to sustain attention and complete assignments.
We try to.
Dragon Ball Z character that just powered up. I've never watched Dragon Ball Z, but that is accurate. I know that's accurate. All the memes and stuff I see, that's accurate.
And then he told me I'm 18 years old.
He does look like that.
High school. You can't force me. I say, okay, find a job. He didn't
Oh,
find
you
a
got that in
job in
Kalupa.
McDonald's. He
God
worked
dang.
2 weeks. He
No.
did a job at the end.
That's frustrating. Yeah.
Dude, you know what's crazy, guys? I'm
It's
sorry I keep
typically
pausing it.
difficult
Holy God, that's actually... That's terrifying. Jesus! Dude, first off, look at that man. Well, look what he's got in there, bro. That looks like a little cobra in a little snake's den. That's crazy. It looks like he's hiding a bullet in there. Might be some evidence. Dude, what's crazy is how parents... And like, I'm not saying they're in the wrong, but it's crazy how much parents will be, like, totally... what do you call that? What's that word? Where you're like... Oh, oblivious. Oblivious. It's where you're, like, oblivious to, like, red flags because it's their kid, you know? And, like, their love for their kids and stuff is just so, like, so overwhelming that, like, they just ignore red flags. I find that crazy. But, I mean, I understand. It's just crazy. It's like, yeah, last week I did find a Glock under Timmy's bed, but I thought it was a school project, you know? I didn't really think much of it.
For individuals with
Like,
severe
that's usually
mental
how it is.
illness to maintain employment. For teens with serious behavioral problems, they can also face difficulties with maintaining employment. They often struggle to get along with coworkers and supervisors, depending on the nature of their symptoms. For instance, with psychosis, they may be suspicious of others or become angry easily if they're reprimanded or given orders, making conflict with coworkers, supervisors, and the general public a pretty common occurrence. For teens with behavioral problems, they often bump heads with authority figures because they don't like being ordered around or told what to do.
Dude, please get this picture off my
In
screen.
addition to school, work wasn't
actually
for Nor
terrifying.
either.
He doesn't have any money. He doesn't
No.
have a way to make money, right? You provide what he needs, but he has,
No.
no
I
money,
can't.
you know. It's
The detective changes the focus of the conversation to an important subject, and as you'll see, the answer only makes things look worse for Nor.
off of 46th Street, right by where you live. There's a a private kennel, place where people take their dogs or whatever when they're on vacation or whatever to take care of them. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where all these cars were tonight.
They have a dog daycare.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And any reason Nora would go over there?
I don't see any reason Nora can go there because we don't have a dog.
Right.
We don't have a cat neither.
Right.
Yeah.
Things aren't looking good for Noor, seeing as his parents have positively...
Things aren't... I'm getting frustrated at this point. Things aren't looking good for him. I would think so. I would agree with that statement.
Identified him in the photos provided by police, and further at a place he has no business being. But there are still so many important questions. Among them, those concerning the makeshift weapon used to beat Andy and Harriet.
That's actually, it's so sad though. As much as I'm joking about like this whole crime and stuff, like it's actually terribly sad. Just think about how much time that couple spent together just for it to end like this. Oof.
Motive behind the brutal attack.
Are there any kind of weapons in your house? Do you have any guns for home protection? Or
No, we're not.
does Nora have any even knives to collect anything or anything like that?
I never seen that.
Okay. Nora doesn't have any weapons that you know of or anything?
No.
Nora? Okay.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
She ever carry it?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. The old cameras, these low quality cameras make people look like a poorly rendered zombie. They came from 2009. Dude, for real. They need it. I bet they probably, do you think they have like high definition cameras now and like these? They probably do.
Sticks or clubs?
I never see it. Maybe
He does deserve max sense. They better not give him no insanity plea or something.
To see blood, or what looks like blood on his clothes?
He says it's not a blood, but I see it like it's a blood.
When you see blood on Nora's clothes, does that surprise you?
Yes, because I don't know what to say. I went a lot through bad stuff when I was in Africa.
Sure.
And I don't like to see the blood.
I understand.
See, the thing is, that's crazy part. I don't know what happened. If it was a fight, a killing, a robbery, I don't know what happened.
It seems that Noor's parents have been forthcoming, and it appears that they are as confused about the situation as law enforcement is. As they conclude Nyanyo's interview,
we're 25 minutes into this documentary. Nobody's asked that dude a question, and he's already just talked away. He's already given everything.
Question for them.
What exactly going on?
Well, maybe talk to you about it after we speak to Nora. Okay.
He won't here now?
Yeah, he's here.
He's here?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to talk to him?
We're going to talk to him.
Come back to me again?
We can talk to you maybe a little bit after we talk to Nora. Yeah.
It's been approximately 2 hours since his arrest. One of the detectives enters Noor's room.
Hey, let me take the handcuffs off you.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Just sit tight. Do you need a drink of water or anything? You doing okay? I would like some water, please. Okay. We'll work on that in a minute, okay? All right. Thank you. Yeah. That's got to be a little more comfortable. Just get those things off. Huh? You all right? You okay? Yeah, just thinking. Out of thinking? Okay. All right, man.
All right, what do you guys think is going to be? I want everybody's prediction. I want to see if somebody can nail it. What do you guys think his reasoning is for being there at the crime scene? Let's make a prediction right now. I'm going to say he heard fighting. He was walking down the street. He heard fighting, and he went near there. He's going to say he saw somebody run out the back door. I don't know. But he was just there, and he didn't want to go inside because he didn't want to look like he was the killer. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be something like that.
All right. Appreciate the chat with you, okay? Appreciate it.
That's what it's going to be.
Given all the nonsense rambling that we've heard from
Or he's going to say something like, I thought it was Halloween, and I was trying to trick or treat. And I know them grandmas give them big XL candy bars, and that's why I was waiting there. And I was confused when the cops just walked in. I was just trying to get my candy. So then when I didn't see there was no candy, I walked away.
Surprising.
That's probably a better alibi.
He speaks clearly honestly. And politely. Maybe Noor knows he's being recorded and is simply...
Wait, I just saw that. It's my grandma. Imagine if he said, "What were you doing there?" He just said, "That's my grandma."
Putting on a show
No.
for the camera. Or it's possible that the total silence of the interrogation.
Dude, no, start these
Bro,
have
I'm
been.
down bad. Hey,
These
you
have,
grab Jordan joints?
yeah, that's fine. Dude, no, these dude, these ones have just been wild, and I don't even know what to say, bro.
Dude, I still haven't won a parlay, dude. I might be cursed.
Downright bad. Let's see. Oh, you guys want the rundown with this one? This one real quick. Have you guys been watching?
No, I just got back with food.
All right, let me tell you what's been going on here in this one. All right, old woman calls 911. Says
Old woman calls.
Says she's 97, I think, 97 or 94. Says I've just been assaulted brutally with like a metal weapon by a black male, tall, wearing a white shirt, and she attacked my husband. Her husband actually died. They're 94 and 97. And no, it was this big metal bar or something, right? Here's the crazy part, right? So they pull up to the scene, the cops, 7 minutes later. It just so happened that Cops TV was like filming an episode this day with these guys. So the cops have the whole camera crew with them, right? And they walk. There's a black male with a white hoodie on, sitting outside the door, just standing there, literally right outside the door, just standing there looking inside, right? And they all just walk right past him inside. Nobody says a word to the guy. Nobody says. They literally could have shook his hand, and they walk right past. And then right after that, dude just walks away from the scene once they go inside. And for some reason, they're trying to solve this case.
That sounds like a Jeffrey Dahmer type beat.
No, it's actually just called straight stupidity. Is what I would call it.
Room makes
Anyway,
him nervous or uncomfortable.
this dude's hair is absolutely
So
just
he's
wild.
filling the space.
And I think he's got some psychosis because he's been talking to himself. He's been saying, "Man, this world's crazy, man. This world's crazy."
Hey, I be saying that sometimes.
By talking nonstop to himself.
Yeah.
Taking off handcuffs and getting the suspect water is the first step in creating a sense of reliance
No, that's
on
like
officers
halfway-
for the basic
they were like halfway through.
necessities. It also starts to establish the rapport-building phase of the interrogation.
Somehow the grandma lived after being smashed in the head. This 97-year-old grandma.
Nor continues to speculate as to why he's seated in this room, as if he doesn't already know.
I don't know. Okay, I really don't know for murder, but I'm assuming that's what it's for because that's what interrogation is.
Detectives are ready to speak with Noor,
Oh,
given all
dude,
the
I
background
can't.
they've gathered from his parents and the cops' crew. Little do they know, they're about to engage in an interview with an individual like no other they've encountered before. One who's been speaking to himself nearly nonstop since he took a seat in his interrogation room.
This is the craziest experience I've had. No, that's not the craziest experience I've had in my life. One of the craziest.
That's not the craziest. That's not the craziest.
Growing up in Omaha, growing up in North Omaha. Back
Bitch, don't shit happen in Omaha.
Down. That was one of the craziest experiences. Just seeing two people getting killed with my eyes.
Talk about him killing people?
I mean, he basically saw two people get killed with his own eyes like a couple hours ago or whatever. He literally.
It's life, man. Like I always.
He's like, I've never seen anything like that before. He's trying to make us all his.
It's life. You gotta move on. Everything's gonna be alright, man. You don't need to do nothing. So what is there to worry about? Everything's gonna be alright.
Is he talking to his like alternate ego or something?
I don't. I'm gonna guess he's like schizophrenic, but I don't know. I don't think he's schizophrenic. I don't know what he is.
I'm sitting here for. I don't even know what's going on. That's crazy.
Finally,
Bro,
both
I can't.
detectives enter.
Hi, Nora.
This is gonna
Right.
be good.
Nora.
His name's Nor. N-G-O-R.
She said Nar.
Yeah.
Okay, that's legal.
All right.
Lorna.
Lorna. Yep. Kind of different.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Think you've met Detective Tim Peake, right?
The only thing I forgot to mention, I think, was that I don't know if you guys saw, like, pretty sure he like downed a bottle of liquor, and that might be why he might have been intoxicated during this.
Yep.
We met briefly.
I don't know if it was liquor. I think it was liquor.
18.
What's your birthday?
May 25th, 1996.
It should be noted that Noor claims to have been born in 1996, contrary to his stepfather's previous statement.
His birthday.
Yes, it's May 25th.
So either the stepfather don't know, or this dude is just like
Either
doesn't
way,
know.
however, Noor is of legal age. In the eyes of the justice system, he is considered an adult. Regardless of the discrepancy, detectives continue to gather basic information and attempt to build some rapport.
Do you work or anything, or go to school or anything?
I take GED classes.
Okay. Alright. Alright.
Where do you take those at?
It's online.
Cool.
Asking non-threatening questions allows the detectives to see how the suspect engages with them, how they answer questions, and what their body language is like. They can then compare this baseline
Smart.
behavior.
Dude, I feel like I'm ready to be a
suspect
detective,
acts.
guys. I think
Once
I'm ready.
questions about the crime begin,
I think I'm ready.
They will be looking for deviations in
Stop the
behavior,
cap.
such as if the
I
suspect
would have already arrested this guy. I mean, come on. I know innocent's proven guilty, but I mean, come on, guys. The whole camera got him 4K, literally walking away from the body. It's like it's Among Us, dude. I'm telling you.
starts
I've
using
seen it
multiple
before.
adapter behaviors, which indicate the suspect is stressed by a particular question. Although some dismiss nonverbal
those are
analysis
just
as
pants.
pseudoscience, and whether or not the viewer agrees with it, it is
The bottom two guys are the members of the camera crew, the cop camera crew that got interviewed.
used by the FBI.
Because they watched him, like they literally put the camera on this guy. And the guy just walked away nonchalantly, like right after they entered the room.
CIA
So weird.
and police during interrogations, which is why we include it. When the CIA is
Dude, yeah, Starcher, you know about my Among Us experience, bro. Come on now. Tell me I'm not ready. Tell me I'm not ready for this stuff, bro.
Fuck you.
interrogating
Give
an
me the motherfucker to
individual,
frame him.
they look for clusters of 3 or more
He never did
indicators
this.
that occur in either
You
quick
were the one that did
succession or all at once.
It was me.
These indicators can be signs of discomfort or uncertainty in
where
what
this
the
guy's been
individual is stating, rather
been
than
framed, bro. He's
indicators
just been
of deception. It's extremely important to note that you cannot detect deception through nonverbal analysis alone.
You trying to play that
As well,
demonologist game later?
nonverbal analysis is not admissible in court,
If I buy for you, will you
nor is
play
it meant to be admissible in court.
If I
And
have
it is
to,
instead an investigative
guess.
tactic police use to question
I
suspects.
don't like that.
Just a procedure, we do have to read you these rights, okay?
It's basically the
The
same game,
detective
though.
reads Nora's rights, and he acknowledges that he understands each one. At this point, the interview becomes a custodial interrogation, and the detectives
understand you don't
begin
wanna do
attempting to untangle the gruesome web to uncover why the Andersons were brutally attacked just
What a
hours
chair.
earlier.
Dude, I'm trying to get his motive, but I
Obviously,
can't
we're
get
here
it.
for a reason.
I genuinely think he's just crazy and like he was just drunk or something.
Nor, some things
Flash
have
is
happened
so
tonight, and there's some questions we want to ask you because there's a lot of
do them?
questions like why. Those are the things that you can maybe fill in for us, okay?
I understand.
Let's talk to obviously your parents are here. Talk to them.
Dude, we were trying to. So I asked Chad if we made predictions on what he's gonna say to why he was there, and my prediction
Can
was
we give a guess?
yeah, sure. I think he's gonna say somebody in chat said he's gonna say it's my grandma.
Okay, so
No,
so what
that's
year is
good.
this?
Some Granny Cooch.
I don't know. It's like probably 6
I'm gonna
years.
guess he's there for a Halo LAN party. That's what I'm gonna guess.
Ooh, that's a good one. No, I think he's gonna say he was walking by and he heard fighting, but he didn't want to intrude, so he just
Yeah, you're right.
stood
Yeah, you're
outside
right.
the door.
He was walking by and he thought he heard fighting, so he thought that fucking Jorge Masvidal was gonna be inside the house and he wanted a picture, so he went to go get
There you
a
go.
picture.
That's what he's doing.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Other people at this point.
I really
so
wanna
we have
know.
an idea of really what happened, okay?
Oh yeah, here we go. It's about to
I'm
get.
sure there's some
About to get
things
good.
rolling through your head right
But
now.
the hair
right?
alone, you should just know that he's crazy.
They already said that. Somebody in chat already
Like-
said that. Somebody said they
Like
should have
just
just.
from that alone, you
Alright,
shouldn't need
it's
to
been
ask.
kind of a typical night, it sounds
Like that's an
obviously,
atrocity.
and-
So that's a crime.
Can you kind of tell me what your day was like? Can you run through your day for me?
Oh, let's hear it.
Well, my day was a typical day.
Detectives want Nor to think they know more than they actually do.
Double
Nor
homicide.
may be more likely to give out additional information if he thinks the police already know everything. Nor explains that he went to practice backflips at a nearby park.
I drank a little bit of liquor
Okay.
with myself.
Dude, I've been there, buddy. It's lonely, ain't it, bro? I drank a little bit of liquor with myself.
Basically, 'cause I was gonna tell my mom, but my mom she didn't drink with me, but it was little. That's why I was thinking of that. But it wasn't enough to intoxicate me.
Oh, okay. That's gonna come back to
Stating
bite
that it
him.
wasn't enough to intoxicate him would negate any sort of
Ah,
possible
yeah,
diminished
yeah, he just
capacity
screwed himself.
to the crime.
You're gone, bro.
He just screwed himself
However,
already.
Voluntary alcohol
That happened to
intoxication
Morgan,
isn't
never mind.
enough to raise the defense, regardless.
It was like around
He's gone, bro.
like 4, but it was before I went to go do the flips. What I do is I do backflips.
Okay.
Okay.
Backflips, front
Right.
flips. What my goal was just trying to perfect like various different type of flips.
Right. So
And
like,
I was
what are
gonna
you,
record
Spider-Man?
myself,
Like, what's the point?
upload it online, trying to gain as much views and followers. as I
Oh,
can.
okay.
It seems like Noor is trying to sound innocent
he
and
wants
casual
attention.
by going into a little too much detail about his backflips.
But what if he's just
This
serial
could
killer
be
in the
his
making?
attempt to
Just a man
distract
trying
from
to
the
do some
focus of the
backflips, bro. That's it.
interrogation. It could also be his attempt to make it clear to the detective.
Yeah, you see him? Literally walked. Everybody walked right in this door. He's right here.
Dude, I know what happened, bro.
What happened?
He started doing backflips and he couldn't stop, and then he eventually just hit that doorway, and that's what happened.
He accidentally backflipped into
He accidentally
into
backflipped
their
into
house.
the house. That's
and
what happened.
accidentally backflipped into.
He
But
just
most
gained
of his
momentum as he
time
was
is
doing it. He
spent
couldn't
focused
stop.
on practicing his
Be like that
backflips,
sometimes.
implying that he's not into anything else, nor into any sort
Dude,
of
that's
trouble.
literally how it went though. They just walked in and he just walked away.
I went to go flip
What'd you drink? What kind of liquor?
Captain Morgan.
Morgan?
Then when I came back, I went to sleep.
No, this is about to be
I'm gonna
crazy.
sleep.
I'm like, well, I didn't wake up, but I got woke up, and then all these cops and everything. I was like, what's going on? And then my mind started running out everything. I'm like, whoa. So it didn't really give me a chance to, like, well, not when you wake up, but you get woke up, it's a bunch of police officers waking you up. Your mind would be running like, what's going on? So
I can't, bro.
Like, that's really it. That's my general day.
I can't do this.
Nora's voice changes pitch when he says it.
You notice?
This could potentially
That-
be
he
a
said that was
sign of
his
his
normal
anxiety
day.
coming out.
It's a normal day, man.
When a person is
Rated by the
excited,
cops,
nervous,
normal
or anxious, they may raise the pitch of their voice. This is a natural response to these emotions, and it can be difficult to control. Nora states that he woke up that morning around 11 and had gone to sleep at 2 a.m.
Okay, you go to bed late usually?
Yeah. I watch videos on my
Hey, I'm right
my
with you,
phone.
bro.
Okay.
Same
He
way.
watches on Disney, bro. That's what he
What he's
watches.
watching.
Your conspiracy theory?
Oh.
What do you mean?
Like, I like... Well,
Oh, he definitely
I
thinks the
like
government had to get him.
read about conspiracy theories and study them.
Okay. What'd you do from 11 on? Where we
Stay at
at?
home like usual.
Okay, usually home every day? Okay, that must get pretty boring.
Well, I don't really do anything because how I see it is, because my goal is GD.
Okay.
How I see it is if you really want something, you're going to put everything aside and get it.
Okay.
If you really want it, you'll get it. If you don't, you'll come up with excuses. So
Man, this
There's
guy's
definitely a discrepancy between Nora's story and what his
Is this Andrew
parents
Tate?
said.
Don't say.
They never mentioned him trying to get his GED, but he has talked about it in depth during his interview. There's no apparent reason for
Bro,
his mom
what
or
if it wasn't
stepdad to
him,
withhold
bro?
information
Shut
that
up.
puts their
Shut
son in a positive light.
Shut
But there
up.
would be motivation for Noor to
Shut
lie
up.
about or
Joke's on
embellish
you.
his life goals.
It was Tommy
It's
the whole
possible that he's
time.
trying to make
For
himself
real.
look better
Dude,
to police by talking about how he's working hard to get his GED. We've established that Noor's days consist of studying and practicing his flips, and occasionally underage drinking.
when I get
Did
a
you
little
sneak
buzz,
it or did your mom know about it?
my mom knew about it.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, I'm 18, so
Is that a crime? Yes or no?
What? That his
like
mom knew about it?
yeah, like that she like
Yeah.
That's a crime.
I think so. No.
Is it?
No. No, it's not.
That's not old enough
What if like she was doing it with him?
Okay, then that would be.
You think so?
to
Are they
drink.
doing
Because
the deed?
you basically can like know that your kid is drinking,
Right.
but like you can't like be there and see it happening or like
'Cause
consent
I
or
think
like
she
give
said.
them the alcohol.
I think he said he like would drink with him.
well, I thought it was
Yeah, that's a crime.
21. You have to buy 18. You could drink.
No.
Isn't there something like that? Like if you are accompanied by a parent or something in certain states. I think maybe West Virginia, even,
Yeah.
right? Like you're legal or something. Maybe that's what he was trying to say.
No.
He just says nope.
No.
Noor may have mentioned this detail about how he was drinking in order to make himself appear like he's being
Oh
honest
man, I
with
just
the
didn't know the law. My
detective.
bad, guys.
Sometimes
That was my
suspects
fault.
will admit to a less serious wrongdoing in order to demonstrate that this is the worst possible action they're capable of. Almost like implying that they would never be capable of doing anything worse.
You decided to go out and do flips.
Yeah.
Right? What time was that?
I would say I would say the early 5s.
Noor explains that he practiced his flips at a park located close to his home.
What part of the park were you at?
Basketball court.
Omaha?
Okay.
Basketball
How long
court.
were you out there?
I would say about 30 minutes.
This is interesting because Noor's parents assumed he was only gone for about 5 minutes. Luckily, Noor elaborates further for us.
See, the thing is, I'm not really accurate about okay, everything else I'm accurate about, but the time frame, not really, because I went to sleep. I got woke up by all these police officers, and my mind started running. And plus, I suffer short-term memory and all this. Like,
What do you mean
know,
separate?
I suffer short-term memory.
Suffer short-term memory. What do you mean by that?
That's unfortunate, man.
it's not really doctor acknowledged, but it's something I noticed myself. It's more like I forget shorter stuff, but longer stuff I'll remember.
Okay.
Nor arrives at the
Okay.
alibi he was rehearsing earlier in the footage. Short-term memory loss.
That's why he remembered the story in Omaha, like about 2 people being shot, but he couldn't remember killing the 2 people.
He provides an unconvincing
down in
explanation about his
Yes, so
short-term
did.
memory deficits versus his alleged ability to retain memories from his remote past.
I know someone that acts like Nor. Okay, well then you should probably report them to the cops. Except the murder part, hopefully. Okay, she's extremely annoying. Oh, okay. Well, as long as she's not murdering people, I mean, I guess.
Past. Things like encoding, rehearsal, and the importance of the
Hey, maybe she suffers from short-term memory loss, man. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you should go easy on her.
information are factors that tend to make things stored in long-term
Hey,
memory
I've got
stand the
short-term
test of
and long-term
time.
memory loss. So
Short-term memories, on the
there's
other
that.
hand, are believed to be forgotten because the brain has a limited capacity to store so
No,
much
John, you're just
information.
legally gay.
Whenever we come across new information, our brains store it in short-term
worst of
memory,
us.
but it's only there for a brief period of time.
not gonna hit any
If we don't
threes.
use this information in some way or rehearse it, chances are it will be forgotten. Sometimes short-term memories can be transferred to the more reliable.
Jordan, did the Bulls lose?
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude.
Dang. Unfortunate.
Just barely.
Is the Thunder game on right now?
Yep.
Yeah, I got a bet on that one too.
I got the Thunder winning.
The long-term memory system, if it has some type of emotional meaning. Still, Nor's claim that his short-term memory is poor could be a red
worst
flag
part
for
about the
deception.
Bulls' loss is
As Nor
that
may be
the
setting the
Magic are now
stage to
gonna get a
fall
better
back
pick.
on I don't remember type of
Yikes.
excuses from here on out. He may think that he can't be punished or blamed for something he doesn't remember doing.
God.
And then what?
He already screwed himself because he said he only drank a little bit and it wasn't enough to intoxicate himself. So he's about to completely contradict himself. No matter what.
Did you just talk to anybody?
No, not really.
John, I hate this
And
jam.
then what'd you do when you got home?
Took out my sleep, straight to sleep.
Yes.
You shower or anything?
Damn, no
I was doing that
shot.
later on.
This statement seems to confirm that what Nor's mother witnessed on
this
him
takes me
was,
like
in
an
fact,
hour.
sweat.
I'll
Interestingly
be
so,
here for the
Detective
next
Peak,
hour.
who
What?
seated a bit out of view, also noted Nor's profuse sweating when he arrived at the residence and observed Nor in his bedroom, according to a narrative he would compose later.
Do you usually sleep that time of night? Pretty early.
No, I don't usually sleep. That time, I went to sleep that time because all the flips.
Oh, okay. All the flips made
All
him
the
tired.
flips and
I mean, he did flip all the way to the house.
cartwheels and stuff.
Okay.
So that's what got me exhausted.
Oh, okay.
There appears to be an
What?
inconsistency
It's starting to
in
add
Nor's
up,
story,
guys.
as he has claimed that
The
he
story's
often
it's
practices
starting to
his
make
flips,
sense.
Yet he rarely goes to sleep this early.
Yeah.
Inconsistent statements can be a possible sign of deception.
No, I don't
When
think he's
someone is
deceiving,
telling
you know.
lies, it can be difficult for them to keep track of everything they've said, especially when they're having to make up additional lies on the spot.
Dude, I can't wait till they confront him and like, hey, what about this video of you being there? That's what I want to see.
Support their original story. Nor would like detectives to believe his claims, but considering
Like,
what
I
they
really
already
wanna
know,
know what the point of
it's
doing this
likely that his exhaustion wasn't due to simple flip practice, but rather something much more violent.
Did you sleep in the clothes you're wearing, or did you put pajamas on, or what'd you do?
Nor hesitates a bit before he answers. Anytime he's asked to provide details that could identify him as the person who committed the crime, he does a lot of umming and thinking. Nor likely knows that giving details right now is not in his favor. His short-term memory problem is a good excuse to fall back on, though. Or so he believes.
What I did was I took off my shirt, my pants, and just slept in my boxers or underwear.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay.
Nor confirms that he'd been wearing a red T-shirt and a pair of
Ask him about the
basketball-style
blood.
shorts. However, unsurprisingly, he denies wearing a gray sweatshirt. This is significant because the suspect
He's going to say ketchup from a hot dog stand or something.
caught on camera while stationed at the entrance of the Anderson home.
I'll never get over that right there. They pulled up just like this. He's just like that. They pull up just like this right here.
I don't understand.
I mean, come on.
I don't understand.
No.
No.
I remember that.
Okay.
I know where.
For the first time so far, the detective directly confronts Noor on this particular issue.
What would you say if we had a picture of you in the hoodie?
If it's in my apartment complex, I wouldn't doubt it.
While it may appear that the detectives are just gathering information, there's a strategic method to their madness. The bait question that was just asked of Noor.
Lynn, how's it going? Hey, I appreciate the sub. I think I just got the notification on my phone. I don't know why it's a little quicker on my phone.
Let's go.
Appreciate the sub, Lynn. How you doing today?
Got the damn buttons.
We're in the middle of a very, very hard documentary to determine the outcome of. I really don't know what's going on.
Praying that the boys hit, you know what I'm saying?
Even though the suspect was standing right on the front porch of the murder, I really can't think of who it's going to be. I can't.
And if it doesn't, we go again tomorrow.
Noor implies that they may have evidence that is contrary to what Noor has told them.
I just want them to confront this guy already.
The truth, they're more likely to reject a bait question and give a firm denial as they know the facts are on.
There it is. Look at that. There. I thought my notifications were broke for a sec.
Leg already hit.
That's me holding a frog when I was like 6 years old. I was so cute. Yeah, Lynn, I appreciate the sub for real. We're on our way to 200. W.
On their side. However, someone who's being deceptive may answer vaguely, as Noor did. Detectives begin to steer the conversation toward the Anderson home.
On your walk, you might have noticed there's a kennel or a place people drop off their pets.
A kennel.
Kennel. Okay.
I thought your dog's barking.
Yeah. I always hear that.
It's like kind of sits back a little
Okay,
way.
I know what you mean.
know what I'm talking
it's
about.
Like a really
across the street, on the other side of the street from where your complex sits.
Okay, I know what you mean. Because when I when I walk to the gas station, I hear at that house a lot of dogs barking. Okay, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Then an important question,
one
that will clearly gauge if Noor is at all credible.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't.
You know, a pet, right? No dog?
No dog.
Okay.
Noor is
He does not have that dog in him, confirmed.
very quick to answer these questions, and he continues to dig himself a deeper hole.
Have you ever talked to anybody there or know anybody that lives there?
Dude, he's they're about to say, so why were you there on the porch?
I see cars sometimes go.
I was just chilling, man.
Yeah. You've never been over there.
Just hanging out.
Oh, dude, come on, whip out the video.
Or anything?
No, man.
Okay. And then you went to bed because
Just
you were
say
so
it.
tired from doing backflips.
Confront him.
Right? And then that's when you got woken up by your mom. She saw something on your hoodie. Do you remember her talking to you about that?
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I feel like I'm watching. She saw something on my hoodie.
It was red. She thought it was blood or something.
Tell him it was just ketchup. Tell him.
Noor touching his neck may be an adapter.
Tell him it was ketchup.
Stress. Covering the mouth.
You gotta cover yourself right here.
Is often seen as a possible indicator for deception, as the person may be trying to hide their lie. People may cover their mouth as a subconscious attempt to conceal their words or facial expressions while lying. It's important to remember that this behavior is not always a definitive sign of deceit and should be taken in context with other behaviors. In this instance, Noor is showing his anxiety by also utilizing self-soothing behaviors.
I literally do that all the time.
Such as rubbing his
Hopefully they wouldn't
neck
find
and
me
his long
guilty of something.
pause prior to answering.
Until I grab the sweater, I see the blood in here. I say, Mom, what is this?
The gray hoodie that he's wearing.
Gray sweater.
Okay.
I see the blood.
Oh.
I say, what is this, Mom? I say, what? Nothing, Mom.
I don't remember that, but if you would explain to me some more, then I'll probably.
She found your sweatshirt that she had seen you wearing, and she saw some. She thought it was blood on there, and she's asked, what happened.
Like real blood? Or like a lot?
It looks like it. I don't know. I don't know how much.
Oh gosh.
Blood.
It's like blood. All right, I'm gonna think. I think you know what he's gonna go with right here, right? He missed a backflip. He missed a backflip, hurt himself, but then he doesn't have the thing on his wrist. He would have the mark on his wrist where he's bleeding. Does he screw himself right here?
Noor gives no explanation and continues to plead ignorance. But detectives have grown tired of beating around the bush.
Okay, obviously something bad happened. That's usually when we get involved, right?
Well, yeah, I know that with common sense.
Okay, right.
Right.
So something bad happened tonight,
Common
obviously.
sense, right?
Yeah. Well, I
Okay.
know that for sure.
Right.
We have reason to believe that you have some knowledge about what happened tonight.
We don't want
okay?
the smoke.
And with that, we want to hear what happened. And you've left out a big part of it. Something happened over there tonight, and I want you to tell me about it.
See, the thing is, what's so crazy is I never associated with that count.
Despite the discrepancy relating to time,
Okay, so
where
he's
Nor
talking
and
about
his
it in the
family
past.
believe he left the home around 5 that evening, the detective lets Nor in on some information that's going to be very difficult to
The
dispute.
video.
We have video of you at the kennel there tonight, the house there by the kennel.
Of me?
Yes. Wearing the clothing you just exactly described to me.
I would, if you said that, I would say, can I see the video?
You got a picture.
Picture?
Off the video. I don't have the video itself. I've seen it, but it's on the video camera right now.
Detectives utilize the confrontation phase of the Reed technique here.
He's like, nah, that's not me, bro. My hair looks way better than that
Places
guy.
him at the scene of the crime. From this point, his vague denials
He's
will
like,
be
wait, I have a
minimized.
twin?
It's common for suspects to want to see the evidence.
Who is that
Sometimes
handsome
officers will share
motherfucker?
it, and other times they cannot or will not.
Okay, we have a picture of you. You're right there by the door.
Please show him the picture.
I don't know, but I
Yeah,
sure
that's
wish I
you are.
looked like
That's
him.
what I said, yeah, that's you are. Okay, they have no reason to lie about it. You know, they know you. They
They're
love
honest
you.
people. They're honest people.
Honest people, you're not helping yourself, buddy.
I'm here to listen. And I just want to understand what happened.
that's
Something
me.
went terribly wrong tonight. I don't think it
I
was
know him from
your
somewhere.
intention to have what happened happen, but it did.
Oh my
Do you
god.
think you guys could describe to me like what happened or any?
That's what we were hoping to get from you.
That's what we want to hear from you.
My
Nor
man hit him with the
doesn't
Uno
seem at all
reverse.
fazed by the direct line of
Dude, bro. He also made the Uno reverse card. He said, now that you asked me that question, watch this. Uno.
You tell
bitch.
me what
questioning. So the detectives try a different tactic.
Oh.
This is your opportunity to be truthful and honest. Okay? Think about something. We don't
Takes
sit
water.
down here and talk to you
Okay.
until we've talked to other people. And we wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, and Lorna wouldn't mention a video or pictures if we didn't already have that information. And that's facts. Okay? Those are facts.
Facts. Those are
You know what assumptions are, right?
I know what assumptions.
Assumptions are
Actual
something
evidence.
you think maybe have happened, but you got to put that piece together to make it a fact, right? The fact is, okay, we know where you're at. We know what takes place, okay? Your opportunity here is to explain why. What happened and why. Okay, you know exactly what happened because you were there. All right? That's a fact. Hear me out. It's an odd thing that when all those people you see coming in as you're standing out there getting ready to leave the front door area, you ever seen the TV show Cops?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah? Guess who was there tonight? Cops. Yeah. Imagine that. So you know what happened tonight.
4K.
Okay? You know where you're at. You know what went on. This is your opportunity to be truthful and honest. You're
What's he
dancing
gonna do
around
here?
it. There's a couple different types of people in life. Okay?
Your mom.
There's
Doing your
people that
mom.
are just cold-blooded, ruthless people that will do horrible things, and they don't care.
That's killers.
Bingo.
And then there are people that simply make a mistake.
Yeah, I hate when I
That
mistakenly
didn't
kill two
mean
people.
to do things that they do.
Hey, he only killed
So
one, bro.
unfortunate when that
The
happens.
grandma lived.
I don't believe you're that
Yeah, but he tried
ruthless,
to kill them.
cold-blooded person. I think you're a pretty honest guy that tries to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But tonight,
Dude, this is called gaslighting right here.
and made a poor decision, and things got out of hand.
Detectives utilize multiple parts of the Reed technique here, including providing alternatives to Nor, developing a theme, and minimizing
know
his
what he says.
denials. But based on Nor's response, it's clear that the attempt to appeal to his character is unsuccessful.
You're not going to.
But I don't think I
You
would
can't talk your way out of this, Nor. You can't. That's all there is to it. We want the truth. That's all we ask for. We don't lie to you. We never will.
I know.
So don't lie to us. So what happened when you went over there tonight, Nor?
I didn't go there. I'm trying to retrace, like,
No, you're not. No, you're not trying to retrace your memory. You're trying to come up with a reason to dance around this story again. That's you, buddy, right there. Why'd you go over this tonight?
It's like, dang, bro, I look kind of clean in there.
Okay.
That's me.
That's you.
Once again, Noor is covering his mouth while speaking.
This is me?
This
You
behavior
sure that's
is
me?
often an indication that someone is being deceptive, as they're trying to physically cover up the lies coming out of their mouth. Even when faced with a photograph that clearly shows him stationed at the front entry to the Anderson home, Noor continues to deny that he was there.
How can I confirm?
Stan said this guy's awesome.
No,
No, this guy puts Russell to shame, dude.
You guys
Or
want
it's
to
the other
tell
way,
me
other
what
way around.
that thing is.
We don't have to tell you because you were there and you lived it, you experienced it.
But Noor doesn't budge one bit. He
I
continues to
forgot.
deny
I
involvement,
forgot
and they
what
continue to
happened.
go in circles. Eventually, Detective Peake changes his tone. Although
looks
it's a common
robotic in that picture. He
interrogation
really does.
tactic, it's likely that he's genuinely losing
Dude,
his patience.
you know what I think happened? I think he did all that stuff, and then his controller died on the way out. And that's why he was just standing there. He was changing his batteries. And that's why he walked away after the cops went in.
After all, they've been seated before Noor for over an hour at this point. And despite having presented Noor with explicit photos that show him at the crime scene, he continues to deny what detectives know to be facts.
Can you seriously say that you were not there after what we've already been talking about? I mean, really? Really?
Got me?
Can you honestly?
Me? No, the other guy we're fucking interrogating.
Yeah, you.
And tell.
Listen to yourself.
Me or anybody else. Oh, that wasn't me. That's I don't know who that is.
Then the detective throws out the idea that burglary might have been Noor's motive.
Did you take anything from the jewelry box? Am I going to find jewelry at your house? Am I going to find jewelry somewhere between your house and the apartment that I'm going to have your fingerprints on? And because that's going to come back. The blood that's on your sweatshirt is going to come back. The bottom line is, overwhelmingly, you're there. You've got blood on your clothes. You're there. That's all there is to it.
They're making no ground. They haven't yet been able to advance from where they began. They changed the focus of the questioning to the mysterious murder weapon. At this time, the specific item used to inflict the devastating injuries to Harriet and Andy is still unknown to law enforcement. And as you'll see, only a warped individual would think to use such a thing to inflict harm on another.
Did you take a weapon with you when you went to the house, or did you find it in the house?
A weapon?
Yeah, whatever you hit this old couple with.
It's more of the same denials,
Bruh.
but it won't be long before the
That's so
horrible
irritating.
truth is exposed.
This guy right here is why I couldn't be an interrogator. I'd get so frustrated.
After a short break, the detective returns to the interrogation room, armed with another common tactic, a last-ditch effort to, hopefully, elicit the truth from Noor. Of course, what she has to say hasn't really been confirmed just yet.
Oh.
You know, I mentioned the sweatshirt that you had that had blood on it, visible blood that your mom saw. We had it field tested. We have this ability of this lab to come out and do some testing on it. We've been able to determine that it comes back to the woman in that house we were talking about by the kennel. The blood belongs to her.
The truth is, I really don't know.
So you're gonna leave that?
I
That's gonna be
hate
your story?
people that just...
That's what you're gonna go down with? Is that story?
That's all I remember, so I got no choice.
I don't believe you. How could you not remember? That's the biggest lie. Come on, Noor.
If you don't believe me, what am I supposed to do?
Who would believe that? Who would believe that? I would be an idiot to believe that.
I believe him.
Well, guess you guys got to go based off the facts and assumptions.
Well, it's pretty good facts, isn't it? Really good facts, actually. We don't usually get this lucky. You're not going to tell me anything different. That's on you.
He's never even going to tell the motive, I bet.
12.
I
The
bet he's never even
detective
going to say
exits
it.
the room after concluding the interview, and Noor picks his monologue back up right
Here we
where
go.
he left off.
These people are crazy, man. They trying to make me seem like a cold-blooded killer.
Oh my god.
Prevail, so.
Truth will prevail. It will.
Well,
Dang right,
Noor's
Noor.
last statement will prove correct, just not in the way he envisions. After a few moments, a member of CSI enters the room and collects a buccal swab, fingernail clippings, and
I think
photographs.
I'm gonna do a bit for
Nor
every
is
game
given a
tomorrow, NBA.
jumpsuit to change into.
For what?
For every NBA game tomorrow.
Was there a lot?
4.
You know, those two.
I gotta hit one.
Is the weapon a spatula from SpongeBob? Yeah, it is. It's like the one in the episode where he gets like the advanced one that's like does all the crazy things. It's got like a mind of its own. That was the weapon that he used.
From county attorney and such. Okay, I'm gonna let you know what's going on here with you. Obviously, like I said, we are here for something that happened that went pretty bad tonight.
Dude, you know what I would do to like people like this? Like if I was the investigator, I would like just totally just troll them. I would be like, and after all the evidence we're reviewing, I really don't think it was you. And you're free to go, man. Like I just
walking out, be like,
you know exactly.
trip him.
But anyway, you're gonna be charged with murder in the first degree and attempted murder.
Like you know that he would be like, dang, dude, I really want to figure out who did this though. Like you know he would.
You have any questions for me?
Murder.
Yeah. Yeah. You killed a man tonight, so that's what happened. We're gonna be waiting for transport to the jail. Okay.
How long do you think they'll take?
Less than an hour, I guess. My best.
Probably. Why? They're hurried?
You know where I go.
Yeah.
Actually, I was supposed to be practicing my backflips in like 30 minutes, man. You think I can just go?
He got something he can do in prison. He can drag.
Hey, yeah,
Now
dude,
that
he's
Norris
in a
dressed in a
backflip.
jumpsuit and has been informed of the charges against him, he stops rambling to himself.
Sounds stoned.
He may just be tired
Nah, I think
from
it's just
being in the
personality.
interrogation room for hours, but it's
What do you
also
mean?
possible
Being
that he has
stoned is a
finally realized
personality
that his
trait.
attempts to claim
True.
that he's innocent to the detectives and to himself are futile at this point. For the record, it took about an hour for transport to arrive.
Man's looking
As
stiff.
the detective mentioned, this case wasn't standard. They had a wealth of evidence to work with, and the developments that came.
God! I can't get over it.
Dude, that hair is a crime itself.
Oh God, bro, this is what he really
First
should have been
degree
charged with.
life in prison.
That's
for
what he
that
really
haircut.
should have been charged with right here.
The passing days, weeks, and months only further incriminated Noor. A search warrant for Noor's home was obtained shortly after the conclusion of his interview.
Oh.
The clothing he'd been wearing the previous night, as seen on
I
dash cam
just can't get over this picture right here. It will forever just.
and cops
So
video
wait,
footage
what's the house?
was
Is he standing at
seized
the front
and
door of the house?
Yes, that's the house.
Oh,
That's-
I thought the house might have been on the left, and he was like kind of like
no.
hot or something.
That is the house where the two women or the couple just got absolutely brutally beat. Literally.
it was clear that each item showed the presence of blood. Between Noor's mattress and box springs, the police found a serrated knot.
Imagine like the cop, like they're walking past him, they're like shaking his hand. They're like, "Hey, how you doing today, sir?" And then like they got the blood on his hoodie and everything. He's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go in here and check out this crime scene. I'll be right back." Like,
But it wasn't recovered at the time,
stay
as it appeared
right
clean
here.
and showed no signs of blood. In addition, law enforcement was under the impression that the weapon that had been used was a metal club or pipe. Around this time, law enforcement received the details of Andy's autopsy.
Oh,
and the
God.
findings were shocking. It was determined the instrument used to inflict the wounds he'd suffered was likely not a club, but rather a metal object with a sharp edge. Immediately, the detective recalled the knife that had been located in Noor's bedroom.
it's a kitchen knife, ain't it?
They traveled to the home and met with Noor's parents. They provided consent, and detectives collected the knife.
Dude,
Then,
what's
in a
the
strange
motive,
turn
bro?
of events, just
We
moments
never talk
after
about this. Imagine
detectives
being
had
the
departed
parents, bro.
Noor's residence, another call came in from the detective who provided details about the autopsy. He had some critical information to share, but this time, it was a development concerning Noor. Apparently, he'd been reviewing dashcam footage that showed Noor leaving the crime scene.
Literally,
And
that's exactly how it went right there. They went in and he just started walking away.
Oh, look at it. Look.
Into Noor's waistband was a long silver object. As it turns
see
out,
that.
one of the
Okay.
detectives had made a mental note of another item while
There
at
is
Noor's
no
home.
way in hell that you
It was
saw
a
that and you're
metal
like, yeah.
spatula.
I don't know how they see that.
Of all things.
Oh my God, it was a spatula. Wait, who said that? Who said that? Wait, did somebody see this?
The handle was missing, and it had been placed on top of a freezer at the.
He literally said, "Is this a weapons from SpongeBob?" Did you see this before? Wait, how did you know it was a spatula?
Residence.
What the fuck?
He killed him with a spatula?
Initially, there was no reason to believe this item was
Nah.
of any significance.
Dude, the whole time, it wasn't even Noor, dude. It was the hash-slinging slasher. Bro, that's
However,
crazy.
Armed with the new information, the detectives immediately returned to Noor's residence and collected the spatula. Upon closer inspection, what appeared to be smeared blood was visible on multiple parts of the spatula.
Nah, that's...
And
Wait,
in
are spatulas serrated like that? Why are they...
Some of them are, yeah.
I've never seen that.
addition, the detective recalled having seen 2 small broken pieces of wood in the middle of the Anderson living room floor, where the crime had occurred the previous evening.
You saying he smacked him so hard he
Coincidentally, the
broke the
pieces
fucking
had been
spatula?
collected as evidence during the processing of the
Is that what you're telling
scene.
me?
The horrifying revelation came with the confirmation. The broken wood pieces had once formed a handle to the metal spatula.
Dude!
It had, in fact, been
What?
used to kill Andy and assault
Nah.
Harriet.
SpongeBob really let go. Bro, it's so bad.
It was as expected
No.
when testing of blood on Nora's clothing and the spatula was confirmed to match Harriet's DNA
Oh, that's
profile.
crazy.
Not anticipated, however, were the accounts of 2 jailhouse and
Dude, you guys are so bad. SpongeBob, tired of making Krabby Patties when Cap told man Jake.
informants
real.
who'd spent considerable time with Nor after his arrest. It seems Nor had made such an impression on them that each came forward of his own volition. It was March of the following year, 2015, when Detective
Dude,
Pete
I wanna know
agreed to meet with
why.
an inmate at the Polk County Jail at the request of the county attorney's office. The inmate informed the detective that Nor was planning on claiming a defense of insanity
Of
in
course.
his upcoming trial.
Of course.
There seems to be a common misconception
Yeah.
that claiming a defense of insanity
It's
will
so
somehow
bad.
be
I can't
preferable
look
for
at
an
it. I can't.
offender. Nor may have naively believed that he would serve less time if he claimed he was insane when he attacked the Andersons.
Nah, you're screwed, buddy.
Maybe Nor was trying to act crazy
I
in
do
the
agree that I think
interrogation
he's fucking
room
insane.
when he was having full-on conversations with himself. A couple of months later, the county attorney's office reached out to Detective Garcia and asked if she'd speak with yet another inmate who'd contacted their office due to concerns about Nor.
How much time, Sly? Like 4 minutes.
This inmate explained that he
I
found
wanna
some
know
of
the
Nor's
motive, bruh.
behaviors quite alarming. During
doing
the
backflips?
2-month period they'd been bunkmates.
Is he doing backflips?
The inmate explained that Nor would often laugh to himself, and when the inmate would inquire as to what he was laughing about, it was in relation to his case and how he liked or enjoyed killing the
Dude, no
elderly man.
shot.
The act, however, would prove fruitless for Nor. Ironically, this type of comment
Zach, I'll-
may
I'll
simply
I'll-
have
I'll
made
give you the
Nor
summary
appear
after
like
this.
someone with antisocial
These 2 videos have been
personality
crazy
disorder,
tonight.
since claiming to have enjoyed the murder is more so indicative of a lack of empathy and a poor moral conscience, and not necessarily insanity. But clearly, Nor didn't know what he was doing, nor was he informed about what the defense of insanity means or what it entails. He was likely desperate to avoid the consequences that he saw coming, and when people are desperate, they can act carelessly and end up making matters worse for themselves. By the time the trial finally rolled around in November of 2015,
Oh, dude.
Harriet had also passed away.
Wow.
Nor waived his right to a jury trial and instead left his fate to a Polk County judge. The prosecution proposed that Nor invaded the Anderson home with the intention of stealing from the pair, evidenced by a jewelry box that had apparently been
Dude,
rifled
no
through.
shot.
A psychologist,
No shot, that's the motive,
just a
right?
witness for the defense, testified that Nor was suffering from schizophrenia at the time of the attack.
Hey, who said that? Who said that? That was the first thing I said when I saw this guy. He's schizophrenic.
The prosecution's witness, however, had a very different
Dang it.
opinion. The psychiatrist explained how Nor had told him of a green man with 4 arms who would sometimes enter
Shrek?
and control Nor's body. The occasion where he viciously attacked the Andersons happened to be one.
Motherfucker, did you say Shrek? I know you didn't say Shrek.
Shrek is love, Shrek is life, bro.
Interest didn't support the claim, which he cited as scientifically preposterous. Nor's insanity defense didn't come close to cutting it. The judge found him guilty of first-degree
He backflipped into the house with a spatula in the attempt to kill.
murder,
Bro,
in
I
addition
can't.
to other counts.
I can't, dude.
In early January of 2016, Nor was sentenced to life in prison plus 2 years.
Plus 2
and was
years.
also
Plus 2 years for the spatula.
ordered to pay $150,000
No, it's plus 2 years for the hairdo.
restitution. However, a true motive was never established with certainty, and it remains a mystery to this day.
That's
He reached
crazy,
out to Noor for
bro.
a comment on his case, and in the hopes of solving this mystery, and he replied with a letter from prison.
Oh gosh,
He
no.
wrote that he is currently on communication restrictions, which indicates that he's continuing to act irresponsibly, even while behind bars. He was able to send us a letter, though, despite his restrictions, through another inmate. This may be an indication that he enjoys breaking the rules and attempting to outsmart the prison guards. It's possible that he manipulated the other inmate, who could potentially get in trouble for helping Noor send this letter. Noor went on to claim, quote,
What? That the criminal justice system falsely found me guilty.
that the criminal justice
Man,
system
still
falsely
fighting it.
found me guilty, and that my lawyers were ineffectively representing me. Then he used the words financially crippled to describe his situation, likely as a manipulation tactic to attempt to gain sympathy. He then demanded that we financially assist him with $1,000 to ensure his correspondence.
He's making demands.
This motherfucker thinks he's him. He thinks he's him.
No.
He thinks he's the
No,
one.
dude.
Which we declined.
Stop, bro.
Noor
No.
finished his letter stating that I should be in a place receiving treatment, not in prison, serving life.
What?
Dude, I don't know which one was crazier. I mean, the first one wasn't like this one was just absolutely just crazy. The first one was just like it just didn't add up to me. So Zach, do you want the summary of the videos real quick? For anybody who missed the first video,
when two young men suspect
basically the last video is this guy right here, over-controlling boyfriend, goes to college, he's a star wide receiver, goes to college, has this girlfriend that's still in high school, she's a cheerleader. He's super possessive. She tries to break up with him multiple times. She finally breaks up with him. 2 weeks later, she's dead in her bed. Right? She's found dead in her bed. Her mom found her dead in her bed. And there was a gunshot hole through her wall. It made zero sense, though. But they found the gun. The gun was his grandpa's. They traced it to him. They had his friends go undercover in this video right here. They placed a hidden camera and basically got him to like kind of slip up on a bunch of stuff. But the crazy thing was, Starcher, I don't know if you saw any. Did you see any of this?
No.
Dude, this is the crazy thing, right? So the 911 call of her mom. The thing just makes no sense to me. 911 call from her mom and whenever she finds her daughter, right? It's like she says she has no pulse. She's freaking out. She's like she has no pulse and her tongue's out, right? Now what happened to her? She got shot in the head, right? Why does she not say anything about blood or anything, right? Second off, she got shot in the head through a wall from outside by a pistol, right? Which is crazy because there was only like 2 shots. He either like accidentally shot her in the head or like he had wall hacks or something. Dude, this happened at like 2 a.m. How does nobody hear the gun? I'm sitting there like the whole documentary like trying to figure it out. How does nobody hear the gun? Please shout me out. Maybe if I knew your content stuff, maybe I would. But how does nobody hear the gun? Can somebody answer that for me?
I can't.
3 a.m., 2 a.m., and then how does the mom like not mention anything about like there's nothing about being blood like everywhere, you know? And then how does the dude shoot her through the wall? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That one was just crazy. The dude was super, super controlling. And then this one, basically the one we just watched.
In a strange twist of
You read my comment? Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think a shout out would help for me though. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm popular. I'm just vibing.
It is what it is.
This guy though, for anybody who missed the video we just watched, the man was literally basically this couple was brutally murdered. Old couple, 94, 97. Not murdered, I guess, because one of them here died. They were assaulted by a spatula, apparently. Apparently a spatula.
You ain't gotta say it like that, bro.
What do you mean? No, that's crazy. A spatula? Like, what, of all things, why a spatula? And the guy, when the cops show up 7 minutes later, and the grandma, whatever, she said it was a black male with a white hoodie. He was thin. That's how she described him. 7 minutes later, Zach. 7 minutes. Let's see if I can just get the clip.
In a strange twist of
Oh, perfect.
fate,
Perfect.
the
Right
police
here.
rushed right past.
Look at this. So 7 minutes later, the cops pull up. This is 7 minutes after the phone call, right? They pull up, and this guy's standing there. Black male, white hoodie. Fits the description. He's thin, right? And it just so happens that this day they have the cops TV with them. They do like an episode or whatever. So they have the whole camera crew and everything. Everybody walks straight past this guy. I'm not even joking. They walk straight past this guy and just go inside. And then this guy just walks. This guy just walks away.
Their suspect on their way into a
I think
horrific
it'll probably
murder
show right here.
scene.
Probably show right
Not
here.
only that,
Look at that. They literally They just walked right past this guy. I think the girl said something. So,
the suspect was also caught on camera by a TV crew outside the home moments after they had just committed an atrocious act. And despite all of this evidence,
they just walked
they
away.
shockingly still attempted to act as though they were innocent.
Hello, 911. Somebody got in the house and attacked me and my husband, and I'm all.
It's just so crazy that they just walk right past the guy and they don't say anything. I don't know. I think the only explanation I'll give them some slack for is maybe they were just so worried about like their health. You know, that's the only slack I'll give them. But at the same point, you got a bunch of cops right here. Somebody needs to say, "Hey, who are you?" Like that. Somebody's got to ask at least. I mean, come on. But yeah, that's basically the summary of the two videos. I guess the guy did it for money, jewelry or something, trying to steal some jewelry. Want to explain DMs, Steve? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, the DMs that you're... Oh, is it a clip? Huh? I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes on stream, dude, I be picking my toenails, bro. God, that wasn't me, bro. I wasn't there. That wasn't me.
Alone are
I
not
never,
a definite
I never
sign.
said that, bro. Never said that. That was that's somebody that looked like me. You really clipped that, bro? You really clipped that. That's crazy. You should watch him.
Yo,
Watch it.
Jordan. Yo, John.
Oh,
You got
donut
any,
operator?
Any
Oh,
legs for the Nets 76ers game? I got 3 legs. I need 1 more.
The Nets.
Donut operator? Who is that? Let me see. I feel like I've heard of that before. Should I look this up? Oh, Donut operator is a channel? Okay, let's see what we got here. Hobo hostage taker gets 1 cap on time. Oh, it's like he breaks down like shootings and stuff? Oh, okay. I mean, that seems pretty cool. I feel like I've watched him before,
Hi,
low-key.
everyone, Donut here. Today we're gonna.
I feel like I've watched this guy before. That's like some. It's a lot of like violent stuff. I don't know if I want to be acting like all that stuff. You know, I mean, I do be reacting to some crazy, you know, guy beats a old
strange
couple
twist
with
of
a
fate.
spatula. But, you know, it's like a former police officer just reviews footage. Do I want to react to like a reaction though? You know, I don't know.
Who? George Niang.
But yeah, anyway, guys, if God, I need to let me get my Discord link real quick. Shoot, but it's not even gonna let me chat. I still don't even know how to type in my own chat on this. Let me see. Hold on. Here we
In
go,
a
here we go.
strange twist of fate, the
what's
police rushed
happening?
right past the.
Okay, there we go. Sign into chat. No shot. No shot, right? Right. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna post the Discord link. There's literally a section in my Discord, Lil Moon, if you want to check it out. I'm gonna have a section in my Discord. It's called videos for stream, I think. I don't know if you have Discord, but anybody can link videos in there that they want me to react to on stream. I wish people would do it more, so I could actually like have videos ready to go for when I stream. But here, I'll go and drop the Discord link. But yeah, like literally any videos like you guys think are like really good. It'd be sweet if some people could like, you know, post in there every once in ever. Yeah, you just join my. I'm about to drop the link. Hold on. If Discord would load. I don't know why Discord's not loading. Hold on. Let's see. I gotta. But yeah, I do like basically all I'm doing right now is reaction videos on stream. God, bro, I got a pimple. It's irritating me. I play games a lot, but like recently I just haven't been in the mood. I've kind of just been like enjoying the reaction to videos and stuff. So yeah. You feel like you know me? Maybe you do. I'm quite famous. Nah, I went viral on TikTok one time. That was it. That's the only kind of fame I got. Discord. What games? I like shooters a lot. Like first-person shooters. Like I played a lot of Call of Duty. That's kind of like what I streamed on for a long time. The only shooter I've really been playing recently is Apex. Oh, where'd Searcher go? Oops. Yeah, I played Rainbow Six Siege. Dude, Searcher, if you're watching, bro, I didn't like ditch you guys. I literally couldn't open my Discord app, so I had to end the task. Let's see, where do you invite people? Copy link. There we go. Funny. Yeah, I played Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege is very fun. I will say that. It's a very good game. It's possibly my favorite. It's like top. It's pretty close to my favorite shooter of all time. Please tell me that's a clickable link. Yeah, there you go. Join the Discord right there. But yeah, I usually I stream. I don't know where to post my schedule on YouTube. I haven't figured it out yet. I need to figure it out, but I really don't. So I'm probably just gonna post my schedule in Discord. But I've been streaming like every day except for Tuesday and Thursday, usually at about 8 o'clock till like 11. I do like 3-hour streams, and we just react to video and vibe. A lot of crime documentaries. If you want to check out my TikTok, it's the same thing. It should be Undead Steve. I'm gonna start posting on there soon. I've been lacking though. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I've been lacking. I've been working a lot, doing a lot of stuff. I've been Stan. I will see you later, man. Stan, I always appreciate you being in the stream. Sure. It's so nice. You don't understand, bro. It's so nice to have somebody to talk to all the time. On stream. Big W. But yeah, join the Discord. There's literally a tab for videos that you can link, and you can just drop videos in there, and hopefully I'll get to react to them on stream. But yeah, it's getting a little late for me. I want to do some cleaning before I go to bed, so probably gonna head to bed. It's actually a pretty good stream, 2 pretty good videos. So everybody have a good night. Little Moon, it's nice having you on stream. Everybody else who's here, at me, I don't know how you knew about the spatula, but it's honestly that was a 10 out of 10 guess, I guess. Yeah, everybody have a good night. I'll see you guys later. I'll check out Donut for sure. I think I've watched him before, but I'll check him out. Anyway,